Oh, I'm stupid. I thought the label was only on one side.
Are they double labeled?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, whichever one you want. But
probably do this one.
we had a house. It was me, Joey, and then a buddy of ours, Evan. Well, let's just start here, dude. Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers. Good to see you.
So, yeah, you too. You too.
I've been looking forward to this, man.
Same.
So we've been bitching about rent. I'll move this out of your way. Me, Joey, and then a buddy of ours, Evan. He's originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. So he ended up moving back like right before the pandemic. And not even because like we knew the pandemic was going to happen. It was just like we were moving out of the house and he had no real reason to stick in Albuquerque. And then he had just gotten out of just a really shitty relationship. Like this bitch was like obviously, you know, it's typically in bad form to talk shit about exes and stuff like that. But no, like this chick was actually insane. Like there was a time they were one of the relationships where towards the end they were like legitimately off and on, not trying to work things out, but they're like off and on for maybe 4 or 5 months. Yeah. And one of the last times they had broken up, maybe like 5 days, a week or so afterwards. So the house we had was up in Fort Hills, right?
Yeah.
And it's like way up a hill, like way up a fucking hill in a cul-de-sac. And the way these townhomes were set up in the cul-de-sac was on the end, it was fenced. It was like fenced off with like 10-foot high fences. And then literally all of the homes touched. So it was like a one giant wall pretty much. And then when the curve happened, there's a small space. And then home, small space, homes, right?
Okay.
This chick, and we were like in the middle. It went like home, hours, another home. This chick managed to, and she came from the far right side, and so there was like our house, it's like the street, the house, and then in the back, we had a very small backyard. We were fucking like 21, 22 years old. So we didn't take care of the backyard. So it was full of shrubs and stickers and just bullshit. Oh yeah, dude, literally. Yeah. So back then, Evan was a fucking chain smoker.
Yeah.
So he had so he had like the back patio was attached to his room.
Okay.
Littered with fucking cigarette
butts.
Fuck yeah. Littered. Anyway, so there's like nowhere to move back there past because we literally just kept the like cement block clear. Yeah. That was it. So there's just shrubs and fucking tumbleweeds and stickers and all this bullshit. This bitch manages to hop the 10-foot fence and makes her way across 2 different backyards. So trespassing through 2 different backyards. We are minding we're like, I don't even say we were drunk yet. We were just minding our own business.
Yeah.
This is maybe 10 o'clock, 9:30 at night. We're watching a movie. And from like, because there was we had a balcony above that patio, and it was all wooden. And so we hear from like the bottom of the patio, because we're on the 2nd floor. Yeah. So we hear like the bottom down, we hear like,
oh no.
Evan, get the fuck out here.
God
and we're
damn it.
Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. And he goes, oh, it's Gabby again.
Jesus, my nuts would have fucking shriveled up into my freaking stomach.
Dude, she tried climbing up the post.
God damn it.
Like, and so I was a little, as I remember this incident, I was a little, and he opened the sliding glass door and I screamed. I was like, Gabby, if you don't leave, I'm going to piss on you. Yeah. And she was like, no, you're not. So I get a water bottle. And I cut a hole in the top of the bottle. I started squirting it out.
Oh my God, pretending like you were pissing? Dude, that's great.
Absolute fucking psycho. But anyway, the reason I bring up that house is I think we maybe paid like $12.50 a month for it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Now, back then, we weren't making squat for money, so we thought that was a fair price, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was, but it was a little bit out of our budget. It was in a nice area, kind of, and it was a great house that fit all 3 of us, which was hard to find back then.
Yeah.
And because back then, families owned homes, not a bunch of roommates and a bunch of like, you know, just a lot of random people that are just renting out their rooms. It was actual families. And so yeah, I mean, I guess altogether we maybe paid like 13 and a half, 14 because of like utilities and shit.
Right.
But yeah, it was that home. Now I looked at Zillow, and they're not renting it out anymore. They're just trying to sell it. And the monthly mortgage on that shit, I think, is like 1,800, 18 and a half. I'm proud to announce that the podcast is now officially sponsored by the fine people over at Chop Chili Company. Guys, this is some of the best chili you can get here in the state of New Mexico, and they are online as well as in stores. They can be found at Smith's, Albertsons, Sprouts, John Brooks, and Lowe's Corner Market. They have 3 amazing flavors that you see here, and they also have frozen green chili that you can get online. Go on over to the website, chopchilico.com, and get yourself some amazing chili today.
It's like ridiculous now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I felt even like the place we got, it's $13.50 downtown. I thought that was just like an absolute steal because everywhere else we were looking at, minimum was $1,500, but then you have like the gas and electric, all that shit. It's just like
That's the home you're living at with your cousin now?
No, that's the one on the east side.
Oh,
so
okay.
him, I just give him $500 a month, and I just get a little room.
You got a little closet in the back.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So I've been there for probably like 3 years now, but I am ready to bounce and then be back downtown and everything. Like launch pads right there. Like, there's so many times I wanted to go down there, drinking shit, and then you want to go back to the east side, and then you're like, well, I gotta drive now. And the shitty thing too is after shows, when all of your equipment's in like your car, you can't just like really Uber back and just leave all your stuff in the car, because
no.
I think it's happened to like 5 different musicians now where their stuff's just gone.
Dude, I forget who it happened to, but I used to have all my stuff when I had moved out of the old studio. I had to put a lot of stuff into a storage unit. And I see on somebody, I think it was like Peach's story or some shit, that's someone in some band member that had stuff in the storage unit that I was at, had their lock broken, all their shit, like $4,000 to $5,000 of shit stolen. And I was like, I need to get out of this fucking storage unit.
Yeah, there was one time I was downtown. I have my truck, so like open bed and everything. I was getting rid of all kinds of music stuff like keyboard, beat pad. I had a ukulele. I had all kinds of stuff back there.
I can't imagine your big ass playing a ukulele.
I was going through it. I went to Hawaii and I got like I don't know, made in Hawaii ukulele. It's probably made in China, but whatever. That, and a lightsaber from Disney World or Disneyland.
And that shit is not cheap.
Yeah, so I had all of that in the bed of my truck. I probably had it back there for like 2 months. Going downtown, everything, no one has stolen any of it. So I was just like, all right, whatever, I'm just going to leave it. And if someone wants it, they'll just take it. So done with Launchpad, done with the show. This random dude comes up to my car and he knocks on my door. He's all, hey, he's like, I saw someone looking in the bed of your truck. Like, you should make sure everything's back there. I was like, oh, I don't care. Like, everything back there is free game. It's a garage sale. It's all free. He's all, really? I was like, yeah, go take a look back there. See if there's anything you want. Dude was like super fucked up just hanging out in that parking lot across from Launchpad. Yeah. Oh, he helped himself. Ukulele, a mandolin. I think he took the lightsaber too. He cleaned up, and I was like, go for it, man.
That's hilarious. You are like, that was his one thing he was hoping for. It's like, hey, man, this guy, not me, was looking through your truck, by the way.
For sure. I probably almost caught him, and he was like, I saw some stuff I really wanted back there.
How long have you been playing music for?
Probably, I think, like, let's see. I'm 26 now, probably like 7 years. I think maybe 6.
What got you started?
Johnny got me started. Well, actually, I got a guitar, my first ever guitar, my senior year of high school, from like my high school girlfriend. She bought one for me, and I probably spent maybe a month trying to learn it. Hurts your fingers, nothing sounds good on it, and I didn't really have a good sense of good music. I was just like, I don't want to say good music, playable music. Like, I was listening to like Def Leppard and stuff. Like, I wasn't going to do that on an acoustic guitar. So I lost interest like super quick. But yeah, then Johnny, when he like, you know, the whole Australia story, I think you've heard all of that. He brought that guitar back, and I was like, he was like, you should just try this out. He was like all fucked up, and I was like, this guy has no idea. I know like a couple chords. So I was playing a couple chords. He was all, you're a natural. I'm like, yeah, I am. and he was on like acid too. So it was just like it was like extra mind blowing for him.
Whoa.
Yeah, but then from then on, it's like that's when I was into like getting into Pink Floyd and like some Zeppelin and Bob Dylan, like things where they were actually playing acoustic guitar. It made that so much better. That's why I say anyone who wants to learn how to play music, just start learning how to play your favorite songs, and everything else will make sense. That's usually the way I kind of think about it.
So what transitions you into the bass guitar?
So that,
and was it? I've meaning to ask you this. And was it by choice?
So that's the big toss up. That's the funny thing is I hear. It's so funny hearing like everyone's story and like interpretations of things, because I feel like I have a really like unique like way of looking at the slums and just a whole picture of it, because everyone came in at different times, and like not that little cliques were like involved, but there was a time where all of us weren't really even like, we wouldn't even hang out, we just come together to play. But basically what happened is I was on guitar, Johnny was on guitar, and then when Nevin came in, Nevin needed to be like behind something, like whether it was keyboard or whether it was behind guitar. So we had 3 guitars.
I could have sworn I saw a picture of him on guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he like brought it to a few shows and stuff. He would always really try to play guitar and sing at the same time. And then we brought in another guitar player named John. He was really good. I wish so bad he would have stayed in the band, but he unfortunately did not. He just kind of lost interest. Like we started practicing and he just kind of stopped coming.
Once it became more than a side hobby. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a regular thing we're going to do.
For sure.
Regardless of what our mindset is at the time, you know, we're going to keep doing this thing.
Yeah.
This is going to require a level of commitment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't think he was feeling it. So basically we had 4 guitar players and all of us started switching to electric, and we all heard what it sounded like to play 4 guitars at one time. And these things make me sober.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I always take pride in like making this kind of like decision, because I was sitting there being like, we kind of should use we kind of need a bass guy. Johnny actually played bass first. We were playing at a church for a little bit, surprisingly.
You guys were playing at a church?
Mm-hmm. We were playing like Christian songs. I think we did 2 services.
That's hilarious.
Because we just wanted to play, and then
Yeah.
I was like, I think we all just kind of like, well, like Johnny, get on good like bass for this, just kind of feel it out, see what it's like.
And when you say we, it was you, Johnny, and who else?
It was me, Johnny, and Nevin, and
Okay.
that John guy,
Okay.
and then the drummer that we used to have.
Okay.
It was all of us. And yeah, like no one knew how to really play bass. Like no one understood that it's just like the root notes. So we were all kind of in this limbo of like, we have too many guitar players. Someone needs to get off. But all of us were like, I want to be the lead guitar player. Like I want to be the one that's like shredding the 6th string.
I want to be
chicks.
player 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the whole dynamic of it. So luckily, I went to a Chili Peppers concert in Austin, or it was a ACL, and they were headlining. I watched Flea abuse the shit out of his bass. I watched him slap, pull, freaking do flips with that thing. And I was like, yes, that is exactly what I want to do. So I came back, went on Guitar Center and just ordered a bass and just started showing up to practice with the bass, and was just like, I'm just going to do this. And then the first song I learned was Dark Necessities, like that bass line, super funky. And that's when I fell in love with like slap bass. So yeah, it was a big decision, because yeah, everyone wants to be like the flashy guitar player and do all that kind of stuff. But I was like, oh, it was a big humbling moment.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like also that's a bit of a business decision. Right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, you need to make yourself essential. Mm-hmm. Right? Accessories are fun to have, but when push comes to shove, what is essential to this operation? So did you guys not have a bass player?
No.
You just had a bunch of guitars?
We didn't know music like that. We didn't even know that like what dynamic a bass guitar would bring. We didn't know we didn't know chord, we didn't know shit. All we did was drink and smoke weed in a room and just bash on our guitars. Everyone was playing something different. We didn't understand it at all. That's the way it started. We would get drunk and smoke weed, and we needed to be productive with something to not feel like shit for doing that. That's the way that me and Johnny started with it.
Yeah.
You know, and we wanted that kind of that like rock star life a little bit, and like we were pretending, you know, we were in there playing pretend with like getting guitars and just doing all of that.
That's fucking. I mean, that's a cool way to start, dude.
Yeah.
I feel that's how a lot of people start. They're just fucking around with their own guitar, and it's like, hey, I want to do it with my friends. You find the friend that might want to do it with you, and they it either catches traction or it doesn't, one way or another.
Right. Yeah, and then that's like what it progressed to is then like me and Johnny this was before I switched over to bass and everything, like we would learn covers together, and then we would just like play everything in harmony, like play everything at the same time. And we were like, oh, let's get Nev in to sing. And Nev like would always come over, and he wanted to like drink and smoke too, do all that stuff. So yeah, he would come over, and yeah, that's the way it all started. And I feel like specifically Nick, Toby, and Leroy don't understand that that's where like the roots were. That's why I feel like I have such an interesting perspective with it, is because it all started as kind of this like just like dark, grimy like thing, you know, like this little hobby. And then Nev too, like he would just kind of come around every so often. We would call him and beg him and tell him like, dude, get over here right now, like we need you to sing this, just come over, even if it's for like an hour, just like humor us for a second.
Because were you and Johnny live with each other at this time?
Yeah.
It sounds like you were roommates. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because before the Harvard house, we were living at this one other house, and that's really where we all picked up music. The Harvard house is when we made everything like official, and that's when Leroy came in. That's where I feel like Leroy took us from that thing of like, you guys are just like sitting in here being completely unproductive and getting like, can you see Leroy kind of being like that?
Yeah. God bless him, but yeah.
Yeah, like he would come in and just look at us and be like, this sounds horrible. What are you guys like doing? And
That's awesome.
yeah, and he really was just like, all right, let's like write a song. Like let's write, and then that's where I feel like it all started to change, is because then it became like not so much like, yeah, we had an agenda at this point. We had something that we needed to do and accomplish and all agree on. And for the first time, we had someone being like, I hate that idea, or like, I like that idea, let's move forward with that.
You have an actual compass at this point.
Mm-hmm. And that was a huge ego check for us at the time, for someone to tell you that like your art isn't exactly what they're looking for. It's just like, it's not cutting it. You have to really like separate yourself from all of that. It's took a lot of like growing up and putting ego aside. That's the biggest thing I feel like I've learned from the band, is how to just put your ego aside for a little bit and just work with other people on one main project, especially with all the personalities we all have. Like you see it, Toby, Nick, all huge personalities, like big old alpha type personalities, and all of us doing a group project with those dudes is insane.
And not to completely like jump to the future or jump to the present, because I want to talk about the beginnings for sure, and like where you came from, obviously, and all that. But I mean, how many shows have you guys played this year?
Shit, I think we did like 20 something.
Ha, but dumb tis. Yeah,
Hey, yeah, 20 something.
So you guys are in the 20s now. In this year alone, over 20 shows.
Yeah.
Actual shows. You're not playing in the back of somebody's garage. You're not playing to your... I mean, yes, you are playing to your friends and family, which is sick.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, like, all your family members and your girlfriends, and, like, they always show up. That's cool to see, right? The hometown hero type thing. But you guys aren't just playing to charity.
Right.
Like, you guys are actually playing real shows. Like, Band of Enchantment. We'll get to that later. But Band of Enchantment was fucking sick.
That was fun.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it changes. Like, this was a huge year of change for the Slums, and just like our business plan started like working and being fruitful. We started seeing, it's kind of like when you're like dieting or like bodybuilding, whatever. Like,
yeah,
the first 2 weeks of you stuffing your face with chicken, broccoli, and rice sucks. You know, you're just like, this isn't even doing anything like that. I just feel like horrible, miserable. But then a month happens and you start seeing a little bit of a change, and then the next month, this is like, I feel like all 2022 was us putting the plan to test but never giving up, and 23 is us seeing like, oh shit, like
The engine's igniting. Yeah.
like, because that's what you see, like when you see the incline, like success isn't linear, obviously, and you know, it moves all around, but this is the most trajectory, and it's like, okay, well, let's keep this constant, and then it'll just kind of keep working.
Right.
But like, what's the goal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care what the goal is, because it all starts back from what it was in the beginning. There was no goal. We just all were hanging out in some room like there was, and now we're here.
I don't know. I think you do care what the goal is. I can tell.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's good to not attach yourself to this, like, I'm going to, you know, whatever the visions of grandeur are. But I mean, if any of you guys were just aimlessly doing this thing, just trying to throw something at the wall to see what sticks, I don't think any of you guys would have lasted this long.
Yeah. So.
I mean, let's not to because I remember talking to a few of you guys after the show at Chiba Hut happened. But you guys admitted yourself, you made a couple mistakes. Sound wasn't great. There were some administrative issues that were out of your control. But you know what? You guys still showed up. You played a great show. Chiba Hut hosted you the best that they could. They had a lot of issues on their own end with the food and with like their Wi-Fi went down. But as far as I know, they still paid you guys out and they treated you well, hosted you guys. But I feel like if like a show like that and maybe some other like not so great ones like that you've had, I mean, because the Suns have been around for 4 years, right? About 4 years. So if you're 4 years in and you're either too attached to this, when are we going to be successful? Or you're too comfortable with the idea of just, I kind of don't want to try that hard. I don't really want to. I don't think you guys would have made it to this point, let alone gotten through that Chiba Hut show.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade, you know what I mean? Because you guys, and why I say that is because you guys showed up to that, and I want to call that out specifically because it was the most recent one, to my memory, that the consensus of all you guys were like, that was not fantastic.
Yeah.
But then also, you guys still, when you performed, you know, for the crowd that was there. You put your best foot forward, and you're like, hey, we're here. This is our job. We're getting paid. These people showed up. We're going to give them a show just like any other one, regardless of what's going on right now. And you still did that.
Yeah, and that's like if you look at the goal, I think that's what you're saying. Like if you look at the goal from the standpoint of just like we want to put on a good show and make everyone like feel the joy of just like music, feel our energy, like just brighten someone's day. Like someone walking down Central just stop for a second and be like, damn, those guys are having a good ass time. Like now I'm having a good time just looking at them because like that energy is so like contagious. Right. Like that's a way of looking at like success where we all just like want to do the best we do at just like being entertainers, and that's something we all agree on. But then there's that successful level of making $1 million a piece selling a platinum record and stuff like that. And that's something that's so like, you know, to fixate on that is to lose sight of like the present moment and like the really like heartfelt message and everything that we're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And just like, just community, all those, you know, I don't want to say cliche, but things that everyone just kind of like say of just like, you know, wanting to give back. It's like, I just like want to make people feel stuff. And that's been my goal since the very beginning. It's just like looking out and just seeing people in the crowd just like smiling, having a great time. That's what it's all about.
That's sick. There. That's a good mindset to have. And you guys do that quite well. What is your background as far as I can't speak, as far as athletics go? Like in high school, I'm assuming you were a football player,
a wrestler. Too small to play football.
Were you a wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a wrestler. It started though. I started in like martial arts though.
Okay.
I like started in Taekwondo when I was like, I don't know, 8 or something.
I did that shit too. That's so funny.
I got my black belt too and everything.
You're a black belt in Taekwondo? Damn.
Taekwondo, yeah.
Damn, son. I remember I did Taekwondo in this little. It was a cool place. I loved doing it as a kid. I'm very sad that my mom took me out of it.
Yeah.
It was funny because my mom, she is this like I'm Christian, but she's like a religious nut.
Yeah.
Like borderline discriminatory. You know what I mean? Like I remember when my parents were still together, I was like 4 years old, 5 years old. They took me to karate lessons. And because in karate lessons you bow out of respect, my mom's like, no,
Oh shit.
You bow to no one but God. I was like,
Dang.
okay, like I'm too young to realize what the fuck is going on. But I remember the fights about that. I was like, damn, like, okay, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
See,
So
and mine was religion based.
yeah.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. So then I eventually get put in Taekwondo years later.
Yeah.
I'm like maybe actually 8 or 9 years old. I go to Taekwondo on the west side, this little tiny place. And almost on like where the west side becomes Rio Rancho.
Oh, okay.
And like it's off of like Coors and Southern or some shit. I think it's still there actually.
Like golf course in Southern?
Yeah,
kind
golf
of?
course in Southern. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I remember doing that and just I fucking loved it. I was unbalanced as shit.
Yeah.
So I'd throw a kick and fall over.
Yeah.
But like the like breaking boards and like actually learning patterns and shit like that. So you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
Do you still like train Taekwondo?
No, but Taekwondo, I'll tell you, how long did you do it for?
Oh, dude, like a year and a half maybe. Not very long.
So I think I ended up doing it for like maybe like 7 years or something like that to get like finish getting my black belt. Though they teach you how to kick.
I bet.
Like you can kick, you can't punch. Like all the things that they teach you, they like try teaching you knife defense and gun defense and like
That's strange.
it's crazy. There was one where they would stab you and you'd like absorb it and go under it like a tunnel and stab them. All of this weird stuff.
That reminds me of that heavier set black dude that tries to teach the
Yes.
defense moves on the internet.
It was stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so he's gonna try to shoot you, but you're gonna grab the barrel and move it.
I
Like,
know, right?
I don't know if that's how that works, dude.
Yeah. There was the movie, Zohan.
Yeah.
He's like teaching you how to disassemble the gun in their hands and everything. So stupid.
Scrappy Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fucking movie.
Yeah. And then I went to kickboxing after that, and then boxing,
That's legit.
and then full football. But growing up, I was like the second smallest on the team every single year. I got my ass kicked in football really bad. I was too small. Did you play football too?
Was not allowed to.
Really?
My mother was afraid I would get CTE at a young age in
What?
Yaffle. I was allowed to. Oh yeah, dude. I didn't start getting into athletics until high school, and even then, like in middle school, I did like fucking flag football, but that shit was so gay. But I had to do it. Like I was literally like forced to do it, and I was in a. And what was kind of nice about it was, I went to a Lutheran school for middle school, and this is a school that's literally from preschool to 8th grade, 250 kids.
Okay.
Like there's nobody at this school, right? And they play other like Christian religious based schools, right? I just say religious. We went up against like Baptists and fucking Catholics and whatever it was, right? So like it was kind of just like we only had one class for every grade.
Okay.
So I started there in 6th grade, and is all my guy friends, like they all went like on the flag football team. And when flag football season was over, it was basketball season, and then when that was over, it was track season and that type of shit, right?
Yeah.
I thought track and field was super gay. I just did not want to. I was like, I don't want to fucking run and throw a metal ball.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, not a fan. So I didn't do that. But I played those two sports in middle school, and then high school, like going to a military school down south. I didn't really see the appeal. I was also like the little dorky kid in high school. Like, I don't know if you
Okay.
can tell by the decor in the room right now, but I was a nerd.
You're one of the cool nerds.
Thanks. Back then I wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, hell no. I was like a $1.20 soaking wet.
Did you have the rolling backpack?
No, because they didn't allow us to have one. No, I'm just kidding. No, we.
If I could have, I would have.
That's called efficiency, son. Save your back.
Hell yeah.
No, we. It was funny because you could either like do like the seasonal sports, or you could go and like if you were cool with the people, because we had like after school physical training, like PT, because it was military based, right? But if you got cool with the people that were running it, they let you just go to the weight room. And we had and looking back on it, I did not appreciate how good of a weight room we had.
Yeah.
Like it was a legit like state of the art weight room back then.
And this was down south?
In Roswell, yeah.
Oh, was it Nimi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both me and Joey went there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like looking back on it, like it had like legit, it was a full couple racks of dumbbells, multiple power racks, cable systems, hammer, like the what's the brand called? Like the hammer press for like your shoulders, chest, where it's like the plate loaded, they're machines, I guess,
Oh.
but they're like you sit down on the bench and you have like the two bars that come out this way and you plate load it on there.
Yeah.
Like the hammer strength, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hammer strength. So yeah, like hammer strength systems for almost
Dang.
every muscle group.
So you don't kill yourself dropping the bar on
Exactly.
you and all that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like they have like actual. So no one fucking showed me how to fucking weight lift, but I tried my best, you know. So I just got into that, and then senior year of high school, going into college, is when I got into boxing.
Oh, you
and
box too?
I never like went to a competition, but
me
but
neither.
like I just stuck with the club and got into crazy shape.
Yeah.
Like I was again, by that point I couldn't break 148. Just my body, I didn't get into the 50s until college. Like I was a
really?
tiny dude,
Dang.
but I was shredded to the fucking gills, and I could just
Yeah.
keep running. Like it was fucking, and then I could just keep running. I was that freak kid at calisthenics. Like I wasn't very like weight strength, very strong.
Yeah.
But I could move. And that's what I loved about boxing, was that the workouts, as you know, like allowed for that.
Like jump roping, pull-ups, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Anything that had to do with body weight was what I was like. That was like my thing. And then my body started catching up to me. And in college, like, okay, it's time to start like trying to lift weights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it gets to a point too, like when you mainly I feel like people when they get out of high school, the biggest first thing that they get introduced to is like alcohol. And then they're not getting like their like, you know, like if you're privileged, like mom's home cooked meals and everything like that are like decently healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're eating pizza every night and then drinking, and then you're not as active because you're not running around to classes all the time, and then after school activities. So it's like weightlifting makes the most sense. Like put on some size. Plus everyone else is getting bigger. Catch up to everyone else.
exactly. And again, like I look back on that experience in high school and college, like the food. We just talked about this on an episode that I did last week, but the food they provided there was shit. It did not taste good.
Oh man.
But there was a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I wish I could just go back to my younger self and beat the shit out of him. Like, dude, you have endless food and a weight room. Take advantage now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, build a better platform right now. And I tried my best in like my college years, but I didn't stick with it. Wasn't as consistent as I could have been. And I got a girlfriend at the time, and my girlfriend lived 2 hours, like hour and a half, 2 hours east of me.
Yeah.
So, you and you're fucking pussy whipped at 18 years old, 19 years old.
Jesus.
Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So
Shit.
it was not as consistent as I should have been, but I loved boxing at the time. And the food, you bring up a good point. I've thought about the actual like the value of that in a while, the food portion of it. You're right. Because when I got out of there and I ended up moving back to Albuquerque and getting my own apartment, dude, I had a steady diet of steak, enchiladas, and whiskey, son. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And alcohol specifically, like for me, if I go like a month of just like drinking beer, I'll put on 20 pounds easy.
Bloated.
Like in like a month. And yeah, it's just round everywhere. It's terrible. But see, and it's never too late too to like learn the stuff and like still get like, because how old are you?
26.
Dude,
Yeah.
we still have like metabolism on our side, like strength. Like I feel like even at 26, we haven't peaked yet. 2 weeks ago, I got a bodybuilding coach to just like learn, because I've always been so confused. Like everyone knows how to lift weights to an extent, like maybe not absolutely perfectly, like all of that, but the diet part's huge. Like,
Continue. I'm just going to check the cameras.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I just think that's so important. Like, I don't know. It's never too late. I got this lady, just this freaking jacked lady that I used to see growing up at Defined all the time, charges me like $150 a month, and yeah, she made me the whole entire meal plan. I got it, and it was like the chicken broccoli steak thing.
Yep.
And I was just like, or chicken broccoli rice, and I was just like, oh, this is bullshit. Like I just gave her $150, but it's like I feel like it's just been working. Like you're eating so much to where you're basically like sick every day, but like your strength's there, and then it's like you see the changes and everything. I don't know.
Well, I think what's for me anyway, like I would say I keep a good diet 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Like I allow myself to have cheat meals, and I know for the most part what's going in my body. You know what I mean? But I remember like when I was super into into prep, and even in like the phase where I was still trying to maintain for a bit, but then get my body, because what my buddy had me do when he was coaching me to my bodybuilding show was he had me implement the weight training program as if I was cutting, but the diet of maintaining.
Right.
So my body got into a habit of, okay, this is how you're going to weight train, and then we'll cut the food later. Mm-hmm. And so even with that amount of food, like I think at the most during prep that I was eating, well, because right before the pandemic and during, because I spent a little bit of time in Texas during the pandemic, when I was bulking, he made me a meal plan. Yeah, I was eating like 38 to 4,200 calories a day.
Yeah.
Like a stupid amount of food. But what's nice about eating clean food like that, like let's say 5 to 6 days out of the week, is you have your cheat meals like scattered like 1 or 2 cheat meals a week.
Yeah.
If you're bulking like that, but you're eating good quality food, it gets out of your system. I mean, let's be real. You're taking like 2 to 3 shits a day.
Oh, yeah.
Like your body is just evacuating all of it, and it's good, clean food, so it's not weighing you down. It's not like, okay, 1,200 calories in steak, rice, and potatoes is not the same as 1,200 calories or 1,500 calories in pizza. Because the pizza, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Or like pasta, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like a fat thing at Saggio's with a nice beer.
Yeah.
You're walking out like, oh my God, I'm going to explode. But then if you eat that in clean food, yeah, you might feel weird for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. But then after, you're like energized and ready to fuck.
For sure.
Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And then you work all of it out. You're keeping your water up. And that protein is working through your body. You're just shitting. Shitting.
Yeah, I'll eat breakfast now. Like with this new plan, I'll eat breakfast and I'll see it again 2 hours later. It's freaking crazy. And then what I was doing, because like I get so frustrated sometimes, like I did back then, because like when I started, like I did my first bulk when I was in high school, because I wrestled and I weighed about 155, and my coach wanted me to go up to 182.
Jesus.
Within like a month. I was like,
okay, that's not happening.
Yeah, I was just like...
That sounds like the type of coach that would say, hey, is in front of everybody, hey, so these are your weight classes. And after fucking wrestling class, he goes, hey, I got something in my gym bag.
Oh, for sure. He put me on to... He was like, hey, I want to get you like super jacked. Like, Jesus. We're going to go to NutriShop. Bring like as much money as you have, and like we're going shopping. Put me on like tests, put me on all this stuff. At 18 years old, I didn't even know what I was taking. I took it for probably a month.
Wait a minute. Hang on. There's no way you got tested NutriShop.
So it was pills. It was some sort of like, it wasn't, what was it? I don't know even what it was.
I bet it was, okay, I bet what it sounds like is like a test booster.
It was like, it was... Maybe, but then it was like the estrogen blocker too. This was
it fucking SARMs? Like an early version of SARMs?
That's what I was thinking, that it was some sort of early version of SARMs, because he had me on two types of test, and not injectables, never injectables, and then estrogen blocker. Jesus. I took it for about a month, and my body went crazy, like just rejecting everything. Like my stomach turned into a cylinder block, like a freaking cement block.
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay, how old are you at this point?
How old am I now?
No. At this point,
18. I was 18.
You're 18. Oh, okay. This sounds like child abuse, but no, you're an adult.
Yeah, I was an adult. Yeah. Like I was 18 years old. Like all of that, and I was pissed for a while, because I was just like, and then just the diet, like the dieting consisted of me just eating nothing but peanut butter and jellies all day, every day, eating 2 Blake's burritos for breakfast, like just the dirtiest bulking. Then I worked at Dairy Queen. I would go there, eat a large Blizzard and 2 cheeseburgers. Jesus.
And what's fucked up is like, I mean, I definitely got away with a diet like that. Granted, it was like gaining strong muscle and like getting stronger. Mm-hmm. No. I wasn't fucking, that's the thing, is my metabolism was so fucking fast back then, I could get away with eating like that. Like, it was the Leaning Tower of pizza boxes and Chinese food every weekend.
Yeah.
So back then, when you're that young, you can get away with shit like that, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. And then, if you've got a bunch of mystery chemicals running inside of you, holy fuck.
Because that's the way I learned how to put on size, and I learned that I thought eating like that was okay.
Right.
So then it's taking me like a long time getting frustrated of just like, I don't know how to eat anymore, even though you have to eat like, clean and volume. Or it was what I'm learning from this lady. Like, I'm unlearning a lot of bad habits, which I think is really good.
Such as?
Just like, for breakfast, it's like spinach and eggs with like avocado on Dave's wheat bread.
Dude, the
and
Dave's
some
bread
oatmeal.
is so good.
So good.
I'm gonna put you onto something weird. Now this is really for your cut because have you ever done like a deep cut? Like a cut to where you're like, fuck. I mean, I'm sure you have for wrestling for
Right.
sure, right? But like a bodybuilding cut.
On my own, I was shredded like maybe a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Like I did 3 months of just like probably 1,300 calories.
Okay. Perfect. So you know how depleted your taste palate gets, where everything tastes like a lot better than it normally does.
Yeah.
Whenever you do your cut and you're getting like down there and you're starting to hate egg whites.
Yeah.
I mean, I adore egg whites, but it got to a point in my prep where I was like, fuck these things.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up, dude. Fucking mustard and what did I put? Yeah, mustard and ketchup
For breakfast?
on your eggs, on your egg whites.
And you would eat that for breakfast, or
Yeah.
when was your okay?
Yeah, mustard.
Alright.
I would do mustard and ketchup, and then I would put like a little bit of either sriracha or Cholula on there and
Okay.
mix that shit up. Dude, it tastes so fucking good.
Nice.
It tastes like the sugar-free ketchup with some mustard. Dude,
Yeah.
it tastes fucking amazing.
All those foods, I feel like when you're eating the same things like that every single day, it's all about like I put that like G. Hughes barbecue sauce. It's like the sugar-free stuff. I'll just slap all that on there. Oh, changes the whole meal. Like it makes it so much better because it's all dry.
Yeah, that and then like what's it called? The Sweet Baby Ray's. They make a buffalo sauce that has like it's like literally just vinegar, like flavored vinegar, and it tastes fucking amazing. And I would eat my chicken, but I would because I would get the frozen chicken from Costco, bake it all in bulk, or like just bake it in the fucking oven in bulk, bring it out, and then I would cut it into like little like nugget sizes, pretty much. Douse that shit in fucking buffalo sauce again, which was like just vinegar and soda. And now, granted, I cut out sauces like 10 days before the show.
Oh, okay.
But up until that point, I would literally just make myself chicken nuggets that have buffalo sauce on them.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, this is absolutely dog shit, but that tastes kind of good.
Yeah,
So.
it's a commitment. Like I feel like the people who do the best in bodybuilding are the people who don't care. Like they don't really care about that taste a lot. Like food is
You
fuel
can't.
for them. Yeah, and then they do it for years. Like there's those people who will do like, I think everyone should like do a show in their life. Like just like experience what it's like to just like eat like that good and clean to know how your body responds and like and everyone can look good if they really try. I think if they follow the right diet and the right
provided you don't have like the extenuating circumstances, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a cut, I feel like everyone needs to experience what it's like to just like be hungry like that.
I agree with that, actually. I agree with that. Like
It's hard.
Like I'll never do a bodybuilding show again because I think it's, in my opinion, this is just the experience I had, and I know people that have done natural shows that had good experiences and beginner shows that are untested that had good experiences. My experience was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I hated my show with a passion. I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever done. And
Why?
it was just the most unceremonious. Like, I'm not asking for like, I'm not asking for like a Mr. Olympia red carpet, like pyro on the stage. I'm not asking for that.
Right.
Some general
Imagine.
direction would be cool. You know what I mean? Because I remember like, I showed up to the day of the show with my buddy who was coaching me, and dude, we didn't know like what time I was going on. We didn't know where to like they sectioned off into rooms, and we were at the chemo, so we were like underground. We had all those different rooms underground.
Yeah.
And they sectioned us off there. Half the lighting didn't work. Dirty as shit down there.
Yeah.
And nobody knew the schedule up until like 15 minutes beforehand. And what really, like, it didn't affect me too badly because they had the men go first, but they didn't tell anybody when they were going.
Oh,
And
dang.
so what happened until like literally the day of. So then what happens, remember they brought us all together and they were like, okay, this is going to be the itinerary, the whatever. And there were some of the female competitors who were dried the fuck out at 8:30 in the morning. And they weren't going to get on stage till 3:30.
Oh my God. That's fucked.
Yeah, that like ruins.
Just super inconsiderate, especially
Yeah.
like the mindset you're in and just being that dried out. It's not healthy.
Well, yeah, you fuck with your timing of like, okay, how much water am I drinking? How many carbs am I drinking? And that's what kind of made me laugh too. Was right before the show, like my coach, my buddy, he was having me pump up, and he was feeding me fucking what's it called, the Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was feeding me Sour Patch Kids to get the glucose going or the glycogen going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious. I mean, and it worked.
Yeah.
Because I looked like as full as I probably could.
Right.
You know, but whenever I really get to a comfortable spot post surgery with my hernia bullshit, I'll get back into like because I'm cutting / maintaining right now. I'm saying I go to the gym 4 times a week, maintain a decent diet. As long as I don't go higher than 185, I'd like to drop in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not confident right now in how far I can push myself without like, because my biggest fear is like I was doing deadlifts the other day, and the doctors, of course, didn't tell me this until after the surgery. But they were like, yeah, you're not going to deadlift heavy for 2 years, 3 years.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, fuck. And that's my favorite exercise. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, are you kidding me? And so a couple nights ago, maybe a week ago or so, yeah, about a week ago, I was in the gym, and I was like, how heavy can I go? And I got back up to 225, whatever, 225 or 215, 265. There we go. I was at 265 for 2 reps. And I remember dropping that second rep, and I was like, okay, we're good. You know, I was waiting for something to fucking tear.
There you go.
Something to, you know what? I was like, okay, I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
Because my max was like 385 or some shit like that. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go any higher than that, because as much as I want to push myself, whether that's like with deadlifting, squatting's a fucking bitch because all that bearing down you're doing, or like a hard cardio. I don't even touch that because how much your core ends up getting engaged. You know, because like the last thing, because I remember I was meeting with my doctor or my surgeon post-op like a month and a half or so, and I asked her, I was like, so what's it gonna feel like? Like, will I know if I tear the mesh? And she looks at me like deadpan. Oh yeah, you'll know.
Ugh.
You'll be in agonizing pain. You will know.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Leave it to doctors to just give it to you straight like that.
Well, I mean, thank God, right? Because it would be like, oh, you'll be okay. Like, you'll have to go to the hospital. You'll be in a little bit of... No, she was like, oh, yeah, you'll be in agonizing pain.
Yeah.
If you're able to make... She was very like a deadpan, like dry humor type person. And she was like, if you're able to make the 911 call, I'll be shocked. And I was like, wow. Oh, my God. Okay, that's, so eventually when I get to a point where I'm comfortable enough to do that, I'm going to. Mm-hmm. But... Yeah. So you're going to do a show, I'm assuming.
But it's like 9 months away. It's in June. It's like an NPC one. So that's what's cool about now is like now that some of those more like nationally recognized shows are coming to Albuquerque, I think they're more like organized.
Yeah, they are.
But I don't know shit. I'm not even going to pretend like I know anything about any of this stuff. I was just tired of just not knowing what I was doing. So I'm just like kind of investing in myself a little bit. Just like, I'll give this lady this much just to like teach me how to do it right, because I need to unlearn all those bad habits. Like, yeah. But it's cool that like nationally recognized shows are coming to Albuquerque to get like to prevent experiences like from what you had and everything. Yeah. It's more professional and everything.
That's exactly what it was. There was no professionals in there, and I was like, this has really turned me off. And then it was just also like just being on stage. I wanted to be anywhere but there, and it wasn't stage fright. It was just uninterest. Yeah, or sure. Disinterest, rather. I was like, this is fucking... Oh, turn? Okay. Yeah. You're like, this is gay. Yeah. I like knowing that I had the discipline to get that lean and the work ethic that it costs and all that, but...
Yeah, and the stage shots.
Dude, they wanted us to pay fucking $75.
What the fuck?
It's like $75, $65. God.
You like help them put on their own event, and they're trying to get some more money out of
Dude,
you.
Okay, so it was like $50-$60 to register. Okay. It was $75 for my coach to get a ticket that was a backstage ticket. And then it was another $50 because they don't drug test you, they polygraph you. So it was $50 to get polygraphed. God. And this is on top of all the money you're spending outside of it to train yourself up. Yeah. For what? Mm-hmm. A $15 trophy? Fuck you, dude. Yeah. And then on top of that, for the way that it was executed, the way the competitors were treated, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just don't go to OCB.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't go to fucking OCB. Go literally anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, we'll put on a bodybuilding show in the backyard before you go to fucking
Let's do
OCB,
it. Have
dude.
slum show, have freaking competition. Yeah, they have all kinds of just kind of like smaller ones now and everything. Like there's like those like NutriShop one. Like I don't know, just these like kind of random.
Well, that's what's
smaller
fucked up
ones.
is OCB is a nationally recognized natural organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like for that to be that disorganized, like, okay, fuck off, dude. And then, fuck, dude, my coach was furious. My buddy was fucking mad about who beat me
Yeah.
because they were like dad bod. And he had, because he's like an amateur bodybuilder, like he has his pro card.
Who is this?
Is my buddy. His name's Alfonso, but everyone calls him Poncho. We did an episode together a long, long time ago.
Oh, okay.
But he has his pro card. I'm pretty sure he has his pro card now in like the natural bodybuilding circuit.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he had told me afterwards, he was like, look, I didn't want to tell you this like before you competed, but there's a lot of fucking corruption in this shit. And your show was bullshit. It was fixed. So,
Yeah.
sorry. And I was like, all right, well, oh well.
Yeah, that's how it is with so much of that stuff. I think it's like it's just all about the sport of it and everything. Like going up there, yeah, it's cool to win and shit. But like when it comes to like, you know, I look at those bodybuilding shows as almost just kind of like a little like beauty pageant. Or
That's what they
something
are.
Like that. It's just
That's
like,
exactly
you
what
know,
they are.
there's politics that go involved in all of it and stuff like that. It's
Well, and I remember talking to Garrett, the old owner of Legion.
Yeah.
Right, he had come on the podcast a couple of times, and one of the ones we were talking about this kind of stuff, and he goes, "And that's why I do powerlifting. There is no corruption in numbers.
for sure.
How much do you pull? How much do you bench? And how much do you squat?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But then too, it's like that's so my chick's older brother, he is super into powerlifting.
Yeah, Jake.
Like, yeah, deadlifts like a motherfucker, all that.
Yeah.
So he's natural, but then at all these powerlifting competitions, it's like, you know, everyone's like super juiced. But then there wasn't I don't even think there was weight classes. It was just like, actually, you know what? There was weight classes, but there was these dudes who were just built like strongmen, like big old guts. It's where they would get the weight and they'd be able to rest it on their gut, then get the rest. But it's all part of the sport. Like if you can it's just get the weight up and you win.
Yeah.
I love that aspect to it.
Same.
But
Like
then-
I wish I had the frame for powerlifting.
Yeah. I'd love to power lift, but I love aesthetics
Yeah.
so much. I couldn't be just a fat piece of shit. all
Hey,
the
Jake,
time.
he said he just called you a fat piece of shit. Jake, you hear
Nah,
that?
Jake looks great. The handlebar mustache.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm sure you've seen him. He's this Russian powerlifting guy. His nickname is Grizzly. Have you seen him? Where all his thing, he's a big old guy, big gut like you were just talking about, and his
Yeah.
whole thing is he just screams after he fucking powerlifts.
I'm sure I've seen him.
I'll
on
send you a
Reels
video
or
after,
something
but that is
that.
like half the memes me and Jake send to each other is just
Yeah.
a screaming powerlifter.
Yeah, I know. He's funny too, because he'll like, let out those big old belts, and Kelly always makes fun of him too. She's like, oh, that guy sounded like Jake or something like that. It's funny. Strongmen are freaking spectacles to me,
Yeah.
because they just go in this. Even Nick, he is hilarious at the gym. And then I was watching this video the other day of one of those guys. He was getting ready to hit, I don't know, 400 something on bench. No, he was going to do 315 for his first time. And he goes to set up, and the guy behind him just starts smacking his back. Oh, I wouldn't even want to do the lift anymore. I'd turn around and sock that dude and go home. I'd be like, fuck that. I don't understand that shit where people like get like they want people to hit them and it fires them up.
So I think it's the same science as like smelling salts. It
Okay.
hits the nervous system,
Yeah.
right? It spikes your cortisol, and you just need to exert force,
Yeah.
right? It's like the same thing as the smelling salts.
I love smelling salts.
I'm sure you do, you crazy bastard.
Those work. Those freaking work.
I've
Those
never
things are-
tried them.
Yeah, they're nuts. You like black out for a second and you could do anything.
Oh my god,
They're wild.
That's
They're,
awesome.
They're super wild.
So you, just to go back to your what you're doing specifically, exiting high school, going into your early adult life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting into wrestling, or you are wrestling at the time. You're taking God knows what your fucking coach is giving you.
Oh, yeah.
So what? Because obviously you're hitting like the peak of puberty at that point. You're 18 years old. You're taking these compounds. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
How are you processing that as an 18-year-old, and how do you look back on that almost 10 years later?
Everything was so screwed up then. It's just like my diet was screwed up, and I didn't know because then I actually had to go to the hospital and everything because my stomach was just so screwed up from everything, just years of just eating like shit. And I think what topped it off was just putting all that shit in my body. I had to go to and then I lost everything. Like I worked hard in the gym for those 3 years, from when he told me to start gaining weight, the beginning of my junior year all the way until I was 18, about to turn 19. I lifted hard and made a lot of gains. I was probably 200 solid, and then I lost everything because I just didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't know how to eat, so it's just lost everything. I had to restart. It's I don't even know what to do. So then I just kind of would just wing it. It's confusing, but it's taken me up until now to realize okay, let's actually start figuring this out and do it right to be sustainable, so you could still be that, Jack 35-year-old and not just keep going
and fluctuating.
Because it's if you don't have a consistent thing, you're always just gonna be fluctuating, and it's gonna get unhealthy.
Yeah. Well, and then also when you said a little bit earlier about you weren't big enough for football, it wasn't. It obviously wasn't a weight issue; it was a height issue.
It was a weight issue. I was
at 200.
So that was my senior. I was already dedicated to wrestling.
Oh, okay. So freshman year, you're no football. Fuck it.
I think I was 110 my freshman year.
That makes sense.
School.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So throughout, I doubled in size from my freshman year to my senior year. It was crazy.
That's fucking nuts. So you get out of high school. What athletics are you doing at this point?
At this point,
or are you just staying in the gym?
No, I'm not doing anything.
Oh shit!
I'm that's when I started getting really into not a super sad story, but just started smoking a bunch, started just drinking, and just really kind of trying to, everyone's going through that angsty phase of 18 to whatever, when they're trying to figure out life, and everyone's paths are different and stuff like that. I look at the people around me, some people had it figured out and a path, but there was other people who were just so lost. It's one of those lost people.
Yeah.
And then it's then I remember that I'd spent 3 years just super just I went, so at the doctor I was just oh yeah, I feel in some depression and everything like that. They send me to this psychiatrist who gave me everything under the sun. Man's ended up getting arrested 2 years later because he was banging his patients and stuff for more Adderall and stuff, or more Xanax and all of that. So then I got super bad and this was during the band time and everything that we started doing everything. So I was just super on pills because of that guy, drinking and smoking. It took me a long time to kind of get free from all of that. And then once I turned about 22 is when I really was able to kick all of that stuff and then just kind of start over again and figure it out from there. So
if you don't mind me asking, what medications were you getting prescribed?
I was getting Adderall, Xanax, Valium, Klonopin, gabapentin. I was on 2 blood pressure medicines all at the same time.
And what was your diagnosis?
Just depression. Jesus. Just depression and ADHD. I definitely don't have ADHD, but yeah, he put me on all of that. Made me psycho for a few years for sure.
I'm sure so let's run through that list again. So Adderall, Xanax, gabapentin, and Klonopin.
Yeah, and then the Valium. It's in there, yeah.
You are a human roller coaster.
It was crazy.
Because I've never taken those. I've never been prescribed. The only thing I've ever been prescribed was Wellbutrin for a short period of time, and I kicked that shit. That was a very hard substance to get off of or anything like that. But it was a very low dosage. But prior to what I'm doing now, I worked for 3 years in caregiving and as a manager, and so I had a big part of my job was making sure these and they're basically halfway homes I was in charge of, right?
Yeah.
It was making sure that these people that were under the care of the company had had like all their meds counted for and shit like that. And a lot of what you were just saying, like the Xanax and the Adderall specifically, those are controlled meds.
Right.
Like those are actual like controlled substances. So
Yeah.
those had to get like super scrutinized, shit like that. And I see what a missed dosage or an overdose or not like let's just say an inaccurate dosage to what this person actually might need can do to these people both under and over.
Yeah.
But that is a fucking cocktail, dude.
Yeah, and for someone who doesn't even need that stuff, that's the thing. Like, I was just like angsty. I just didn't know what life was about. Like, I had friends all the time who like were having mental breakdowns because they just were so confused about what direction to go in life. But like me, I went to my doctor and told him like I'm freaking out because I don't know what to do. They're like, oh, well, let me send you to this guy. Oh, I forgot the other reason he got arrested too was they found 5 people, heroin users, who overdosed with Xanax in their system, all prescribed from him. Nans is in like federal prison right now.
And what makes that as if it didn't have to get any darker, but when you look at that through the frame of now we know how doctors and prescribers are incentivized to subscribe or to prescribe these medicines because they get a kickback.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that dude's deal was.
Jesus.
It was crazy.
It sounded like he loved money and power. I mean,
so.
and you look at, you said he got sent to prison because it sounds like he put some women in a position where it's like, hey, you want an extra prescription for Xanax,
Yeah.
you got to blow me, you got to have sex with me, whatever it is.
Right.
Whenever I think about that, obviously, like the first case that comes to mind is like Weinstein, right? But I don't know how much you've looked into his case or his like the court documents. But dude, that guy had partial necrosis on his dick.
Really?
He couldn't even get hard.
Oh, shit.
No, before he raped these women,
Yeah.
in whatever form he did that, he had to inject his dick with this fucking thing to make him have a boner.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he couldn't even he didn't have the ability to have an erection. So it was like, I'm sure
From what? Like drugs or from like just
who knows?
him
Who the
fucking 10 chicks a day or something like that?
Who the fuck knows what
That's
I mean,
crazy.
but he was also like 75, 73 and he so you look at that, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe 8% of it was sexual, but the grand majority of what he was doing to these people was about power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all this came out because there was an eyewitness. There was a victim in one of his court cases that was saying, yeah, when he removed his robe in his hotel room, I thought he was a transgender because of how botched it was down there. And then the court was, the court was like,
That's
what the fuck are
crazy.
you talking about? And then they
Yeah.
went to his medical records. It turns out he had some like minor form of necrosis that deformed his dick.
Oh
and
my
then,
God.
yeah. So it's like, okay. And then he didn't have, like I said, he didn't have the ability to have an erection. So it was
Yeah.
all power.
Yeah. So it's not even that he like wanted it. He just wanted to like prove that he could do it.
Exactly.
Type of thing.
Exactly.
It's a whole other level of fucked
So
up right there.
this doctor of yours is giving you this madness cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, and you walked in there. It sounds like like you just said, you're just a lost 18-year-old. You know what the fuck is going on. You're drinking and smoking a little more than you should be.
Yeah.
And you're having a normal reaction to the world around you and frankly, what you're doing to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he gets you on all these medicines.
Yeah.
I'm sure you came off as bipolar as shit.
I feel like I actually got really lucky and just had a solid like not come off of everything, but like when I was just like
When you're your day-to-day life, you're on all these medications.
Oh,
I'm sure you're
absolutely.
just like this the whole time.
I constantly feel like bad for everyone who was around me at all times during that time. It was just crazy. I feel bad for everyone, and even just like the band guys too, and just like people close to me and stuff like that shit's no joke. Like it's genuinely just like like Adderall is like, unless you actually have the ADHD, it's just like prescription meth basically.
It is. So yeah, it is legalized meth. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then like Xanax and everything. Like I totaled my car from all of that. Like it's crazy. It's just like, yeah.
How long was that going on for?
Probably like a good 3. Probably, yeah. So probably from like 19 to like 22. is when all of that was like going on.
Well, recently.
Yeah, so it's probably been like, yeah, basically like 4 years that I've been, and that's why I'm so grateful for just like fire and everything that I'm in now. And even the guys in the band, like those dudes, crazy support system that they've always given me and stuff. Like they've seen me down in some bad times for sure, but it's always just been like, yeah, friendship with them and just like my parents, like just my sister, everyone around me, just like, you know, that love and support just to be able to get out of that. And then, yeah, now, you know, cool, like band dude, fire department, like it's like coming from all of that, it's like super rewarding to have just overcome all of that and still be like okay.
Yeah.
And everything.
For you personally, because obviously everyone has a much different experience with these things. For you, what was like the bottom of it? Like the absolute worst of it?
I got kicked out of my house.
Yeah.
That's when, yeah, they were just like, you need to get the hell out of here. And then I was just like, so then, yeah, my girlfriend at the time, I went and stayed the night at her house. I was just like, that's when I learned such a good life lesson from all of that. And that's what I feel like has made me like the man I am today, is because I finally learned the lesson of just like, no one's coming to save you. And that's the lesson that I feel like so many people are supposed to be learning at that 18-year-old time. Like those years where like a lot of people are lost. It's that no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to help you. It's like, me, like, yeah, like I have my mom and my dad, but like they're not made of money. Like I'm not getting help from anyone. If I want to make anything happen in my life, I have to do it. I have to be responsible for it. It's all up to me. And with those things, it's like, you know, I knew that if I wanted to fix my surroundings, I had to pick myself up by the bootstraps. And that's like a lesson I carry on with myself today. Like just no one's coming to save you. Either you're going to save yourself, you're going to do it, or you're screwed, like sink or swim.
Well, and a lot of people outside looking in, right, they look at people who are on prescription medications. They look at people that are drug addicts, like whatever, like wherever on that spectrum they find a certain person or a group of people. They look at them like, oh, well, they chose this. They fucked up their lives. And it's like, well, no, there are some cases where it was just that was the path they went down. Right. And especially like, as an 18-year-old, could you have made the conscious decision, I'm not going to take these pills? Yes, you could have made that decision. But then also at the same time, you're an 18-year-old looking for help. Mm-hmm. And that was the help that was quite literally prescribed to you by a doctor. Because I'm assuming that you grew up in a household where you were taught, hey, trust doctors.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Even today, like my girlfriend was actually giving me shit for that because my niece right now is like, they're going to the doctors a bunch for her. She's like 6 months old, and they'll be like, oh yeah, like this is what's going to happen with her or something like that. And my family's like, oh, okay. Like that's just like the way it's going to go. And my girlfriend's like, fuck that. What does that doctor know? Like, sure. Like, yeah, but anything could happen. Right. Type of thing, you know, but with that situation, yeah, it's like, just trust the doctor, take what they're giving type of thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because then again, like, there are jobs in this world where the margin for error are much smaller than others. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, a doctor is just another human being.
Yeah, for sure.
And they can make a mistake or consciously choose wrong actions for their personal benefit, just like a finance broker on Wall Street.
Yeah.
Right? They are going to fuck over a lot of people, but they're going to make a buck out of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So there's a personal incentive, and they end up detaching themselves, and then you get a sociopath.
Yeah, and I was watching The Wolf of Wall Street last night actually, and he was like, I don't feel bad about taking people's money because I could spend it way better than they can. So I was like, holy shit.
Right,
that's
exactly.
Crazy. But,
holy fuck. Okay, so yeah, so to round up my point, you're taking the help that is literally prescribed to you. You're stuck on it for years, and you obviously have a great, and I think a good indicator of the support system you have. And I wonder if you look back on it this way, because I'm assuming you lived with your parents before you got kicked out, right?
Yeah, well, then they let me back.
Right. Well, right, but your parents making you leave the home was them setting boundaries for themselves.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
It's like, well, our son is an adult. He needs to learn these lessons one way or another, and we can't lose our household in the process.
Right. Yeah.
Is that how you look back on it now?
Yeah, I just like.
I'm sure in the time you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm your fucking son.
For sure.
But now, how do you find it looking back?
Yeah, I feel like it's just it really gave me the realization of just like you have that unconditional love and support from those people, and as soon as those people are even saying like I can't do this anymore, that's when it's such a huge wake up call for you to be like, whoa, I must have really fucked up. Like, let me really evaluate. But then that's when I started realizing how bad just outside substances can just mess with your head and your decision making. Like even like now, like alcohol break and stuff. Like I know when I'm drinking for an extended period of time, I become a different person for sure. Like even if I'm drinking like a few times a week and stuff like that, like, you know, changes just like your neural pathways, all of that. So I'm just like,
Well, it's a depressant.
yeah,
Alcohol is a depressant. No matter how fruity your fucking drink gets, no matter what. Oh, well, tequila actually wakes me up. No, it doesn't. You fuck.
yeah. Oh, there's always those people that say, yeah, alcohol affects them differently. I'm like, it's all the same to me.
Well, that's all. It's you can dress it up however you like, and I'm sure like I know people that they get angrier on a certain type of alcohol than others. Like that's certainly a thing, and that I don't know the science behind it, but I'm sure it's a more personalized thing, right, per person. But at the end of the day, alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah,
like, that's
for
just
sure.
that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So how? And I wonder if this was a factor when you would end up getting moved out of your parents' house. Were you ever at risk of being homeless?
Not necessarily. I mean, see, and that's one of the things too that I feel like with weed. Like I definitely was addicted to weed. But it's the way that it affects me. Like I feel like those substances affect everyone else. But like I was terrible with my money because I was smoking like 10 grams a week, and I had my medical card, so each gram was costing me like $15, and I would spend every last cent that I had doing that. To like the point where it's like, dang, am I even gonna like make rent this month and everything? Like it was just a lifestyle that I just had to get out of and really do some reflecting and just like, just put the shit away and everything.
What was the transitional period like moving out or getting kicked out of your parents' house and then trying to figure it out on your own?
I was able to just like hunker down there for a little bit, and that's when I just got clean with everything because of EMS. Because I was going to get into be an EMT basic because I had just got let go of my job at the bank. And not because of anything having to do with that, even though like I was still a rec over there, but I got let go and I was like, what am I going to do? Then COVID happened and I was still going through it with COVID and everything. And then I was like, I'm going to be an EMT. Like, I'm going to join the fire department. And then for EMT, they're like, we drug test. And I was like, what? What do you mean? So then I just like stopped everything cold turkey. They never even ended up drug testing me. But once I got clean from all of that and started like caretaking and like learning how to like, be helpful to other people and just displace that like Anthony Kiedis from the Chili Peppers. You know the song Give It Away?
Yeah.
That's like, cause he's sober. And that's his biggest thing is like you give away to receive, like good karma, basically those types of things. So it's like I just give away like myself and like my care and everything, just because it just makes me feel good. Like that's almost kind of like what makes me feel better. And that's what they even say too with like AA, like all those kinds of things. Like the best way to stay like sober is to go and help other people, because it like always reminds you and all that.
And obviously like you didn't seek out these drugs, like this was prescribed to you, like in the period. And that, so you said it was like 3 years, right? 4 years that you were actively taking these things.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you became addicted to it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
what was when you finally get off of this shit in 22?
Yeah.
What is the breakaway period like? Like coming down, getting off of it, did you like experience any crazy withdrawal? Like
I did. When I was getting off of the Adderall, I think that one was the hardest. I got off of the Adderall in 2021.
Okay.
I think is when I got off of that. And that was probably one of the hardest things because that was the one I feel like messed up my head the most. Like everything just felt fried after that. So it took me a long time just to like kind of do everything kind of like without that stimulus again. It was just that relearning period.
Well, it sounds like your what's it called? It deals with your dopamine and serotonin, your reward system. It sounds like your reward system got absolutely flatlined.
Yeah, you had to I spent like a good like year or two just completely rehabbing that, like
Jesus,
just trying super hard to get that all back to normal and everything. But yeah, that's why I'm so grateful for like just, EMS fire and everything, because that's for sure saved me, I think, from all of that. Definitely did.
Holy fuck, dude. That is actually fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was super crazy. But like,
you effectively got exploited for profit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because we now know all these things. Like, this is all like, I'm sure like in our parents' age, right, there was whispers of it, and there was like, you know, whatever it was, but like, especially when like the Oxycontin and Oxycodone came out, you know, we all look back on that now. It's like, oh shit, like back then they really believed that was the end all be all as far as pain mediation and pain killing went.
Yeah.
Like, that was the magical pill. Literally the magic pill.
Have you seen the show?
I
on
need
Netflix?
to. I need to.
So good.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's so good.
And yeah, exactly. So now we literally have a show about it that is affecting law. Like, I guess the judge that was overseeing some court case that had to deal with that family was like, saw the show, and they were like, wait a minute. We're not going to let this go yet. We have to reinvestigate. And so all these cases are getting opened back up, where it's like the Sackler family really fucked these people over and really like helped, like, not to say that America's ruined right now, because I don't think we are yet, but you know, if America collapses and historians want to look back and see what happened, what the Sackler family did to this country is going to be a key component.
Yeah.
And so to hear a story like yours, like, this is a prime example of prescription medications getting pushed on an impressionable individual, because you're fucking 18.
Yeah.
And think, so you go through 3.5 to 4 years of this. Looking back on your perception of your daily life compared to now, what are the major differences?
Just like productive, and just not just like, you're just like living in the moment, like high for forever. And then you just like, as soon as you're coming down, it's like, do it again. Like, you're that hamster on the wheel and everything. Now it's just like, you can, like, even with alcohol too, like, I feel like just anything that's just, you're just so unproductive. Like, I just felt like I just spent years just so unproductive. Like, I was working at a bank at the time. Like, I was making the money that I like needed to just to like live and survive and everything. But like, I wasn't making any big crazy moves. Like, I had the band and everything. Like, I had even started like a DJ business. I was DJing at Silver Lanes on Friday night.
Yeah, I've seen your Instagram page about DJing.
Yeah, so I was like doing that too, but then I got in trouble. I wasn't allowed to DJ Silver Lanes anymore with the company that I was with, because I was at the Harvard house and it was doing a practice, and I just like took a Xanax and I fell asleep and I could not get up to go DJ Silver Lanes. So I got in trouble and ended up getting fired from the DJ company. So I went and just started my own thing.
Yeah.
But
oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all is good now and stuff, and was able. But yeah, that like whole big pharma thing and everything, it's insane.
That is, how much do you ever like walk now, right? You go through your day to day, you find yourself, because again, your routine with you have a full-time job as a firefighter. You have the band, which is another full-time job.
Yeah.
You have a committed relationship, which, let's be real, that's a full-time job too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So you
she
have.
Makes it fun though.
Well, I mean, fuck, I'd hope so, right?
Yeah.
But you have these major facets in your life that require your full attention when it's time to do them.
Right.
Right. And obviously a lot of those overlap, and a lot of those coexist at the same time. And obviously, like, they're enjoyable things and you love doing them. But do you ever go through your day-to-day life and now you're like, man, like, I obviously couldn't do this 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you have that, like, clarity moment. It's like, damn, life is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, all the time. I'm just like, could have never been here 3 years ago, because you're just not thinking like that. Like, you're just so stuck. Like, it's crazy how much it just like lies to you and everything, and just how even when I was smoking, but like I can't do it now because of work, but even back then, like, weed debilitated me so much. Just like all those things during that time, I was going nowhere, just making my situation worse. And that's why I'm grateful for that realization of like, you got to do something about this, or you're going to be like this either for the rest of your life, or things are going to get worse. Like, rock bottom, I personally think that there's no such thing as rock bottom. I think you just keep getting lower and lower and lower and lower until you're dead.
Yeah.
Because there's people that I know who, like, I want to hit rock bottom, or like people like actively like try to, like I have a little cousin, that was his thing. He was like, I want to hit rock bottom. I'm like, it's not cool down there, man. Like, cause then you get that low and you're like, whoa, I can go lower. And then like, yeah, next thing you know,
you literally spiral out of control.
Yeah. And then you're dead on an OD or something like that. Like it's crazy.
I wonder how much of that, how old is, if you don't mind me asking, how old was your cousin when he told you that? Do you remember?
Oh man, she was probably like 19 years old.
Okay.
Or something like that.
So just as young and dumb.
Going through the same exact thing as me. And I try telling him, I'm like, dude, I've been through this. Like, listen to me.
Yeah.
But
I wonder how much of that, like obviously there's a strong level of immaturity there.
yeah.
But I wonder how much of that also is the romanticization of drugs, of like the like hard druggy lifestyle that's perpetrated through what like Western media. You know, like you have the show like Euphoria,
Yeah.
right? And yes, like the way I interpret that show is it does show like the ugly sides. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it shows the ugly side of drugs and what it can do to people for sure. But on the flip side of that, all of the clips that you see and all the like not remixes, but I guess edits of that show that you find on like social media only highlight the fun parts of drugs.
Romanticize is the best word to describe it. It's not real like that, because that's the thing that I look at now, like going through that kind of stuff. Like the show I was telling you about, the painkiller one on Netflix, that they have real. There's a guy, he's eating with his family, not to like spoil anything. He's eating with his family at Cracker Barrel. He's eating this breakfast sandwich, and he's so fucked up from everything, he just bites into his finger. And just, it's bleeding. He's bleeding everywhere. And he's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like he gets up and then he just falls over and takes the table with him and everything. No one wants to be in that situation. But in Euphoria, she's like all elegantly laying in her bed and watching a black and white movie and is like so happy about it. That even leads me to, I hate Motley Crue. I fucking hate Motley Crue, bro. It's so ridiculous. There is no way those motherfuckers were on stage drinking a whole entire bottle of Jack Daniels themselves and still being able to even play music. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't know, dude. I again, like my aunt, for instance, right? She grew up in SoCal.
Yeah.
Right. She was our age, not a little bit younger, when Motley Crue was on tour, like in their prime. Yeah. And the stories she has told me of going to those concerts, that's exactly what happened.
I feel like it was sweet tea, dude. And those Jack bottles. Because, okay, so the reason why I say it is like Slums, for example. Nick, he said, each of you have a 2-beer limit. And if I see any of you drinking more than 2 beers, you're going to have a problem with me. That's the way it is, because anytime any of us have been a little bit too faded, we play terrible. And if you're playing to an arena like that, I don't see you getting blackout drunk on the stage and being able to even like function. Ozzy is the exception.
Ozzy, well, I mean, Hendrix too. That dude was losing his mind on a regular basis.
Well, and then Jim Morrison too. But you look at Jim Morrison and like his was actually kind of scary. You know, like he was having whole like manic episodes on stage and everything like that.
Towards the end of his life.
The 70s were a different time, I think. But when you kind of started bringing that stuff into the glam rock, and then nowadays it's like, yeah, you see maybe Post Malone drink a couple Bud Lights on stage, but like, who these days are getting like absolutely smashed like that?
Well, I wonder also, if you want to go directly into drugs, I wonder how much of it is the drugs are much more potent now. You know what I mean?
So you think they're more potent now?
Today, for sure. They're all made in labs. They're all like because you have science advancing along with it, right? Like you literally have the medical industry advancing.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that makes the drugs today a lot more potent. So maybe today you couldn't do that, or maybe it's like I doubt they had 7% beers, 8%, 9%, 11% beers back then. They had, if you want to get something that bad in your system, you had whiskey and moonshine.
Right.
Right. And back then those guys were drinking so much of it so regularly, and you didn't. And obviously, I'm sure they were told, like, you know, the effects of alcohol sparingly, but it wasn't shoved down their throats like it is now, right? They didn't start making drunk driving illegal until like 78 or 79, I think.
Right? Yeah. There's so many. I still even remember as a kid, my grandpa would be driving around with a freaking open Tecate right in the middle compartment and everything, and I didn't even think anything of it. They had the drive-through alcohol things. Basically my point with the Motley Crue thing was like, I get so like when people are glamorizing like movies and Western media is glamorizing like pills or alcohol, even just kind of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, it's not real. But then I get hurt because I can't play blackout drunk on stage with the Slums. I can't. I'll screw up. I won't play right.
Well, I mean, it makes for good storytelling.
Yeah.
That can't get denied. But at the same time, it's like the effect that it's having on people who can't truly separate the two past just, obviously it's bad.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go do it. You know what I mean?
See, and then you have guys like Toby, for example. He goes to practice. He sips on a couple of Bud Lights, whatever. But then there's guys like me and like, not to bring like Johnny into this, but, we'll go to practice and we'll get smashed. Like, we're just like, let's go in there and let's get fucked up. And then there's been times I got kicked out of the band one time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, I quit the band, but I was downtown drinking so fit, and they're like, we're having practice. I'm like, no, I'm having a good time. And they're just like, no, like, we're having practice right now. Like, you've been missing. Like, sick your crap. Like, get down here. And I was like...
How far deep into the pills was this?
I was off of them. I was just drinking.
Oh, okay.
I was drinking a lot at the time. Yeah, I was with, like, my ex, and I was just like, I'm drinking a shit ton because I had to drink a lot to deal with it. Oh, it was bad. But anyway, so I wanted to go prove a point.
So this is 5 against 1.
Yeah. So I show up, I drive my ass down to where we practice at the shop, and I get my Galleon Kruger amp, big old cab the size of the one I have now, and I have Toby's guitar with me. I get my amp and I just throw it on the ground and it just smashes into pieces. And I get the guitar and I just start smashing the guitar, and I told them, I'm like, fuck you guys. I quit. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then, and then I actually got sober from alcohol for about a year after that. After that specific instance, I quit drinking for a year.
Because, obviously you're making a scene, but you're, like, disrespecting people that love you.
Oh, for sure. Especially after everything I said about, like, how they were there for me, like, during those times and stuff.
Yeah.
Totally just, I remember I took a picture of everything, flipping it off, and I took a picture of it and posted on the Slums page. Like, just a mess, So then, I remember the next day, Nev was like, so you quit, like, this is it, like, you're really done? And I was like, yeah, like, because the main reason that I was mad is because I was drinking downtown, and they were like, no, you drive here and do it. I'm like, I don't want to drive, like, I'm already doing this, like, we just decided to practice now, like, are you guys trying to get me in trouble or something like that? That's why I got mad. But I told him, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. He's okay. Like, we're going to start looking for another bass player then. And I was like, okay. And I, like, sat there and I was like, that's what made it so real to me. I was like, dang, I could completely get replaced. Like, I couldn't imagine those group of guys without me. I couldn't imagine myself without those group of guys. So I was like, you know what? Don't do that. I'm going to be back in. Like, I'm going to change. Like, I'm good. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Well, that's a good example of any relationship that I think one of the biggest preventatives, and obviously this is a lesson I've had to learn, a lot later in life than I wish, but I think one of the biggest preventatives in a relationship from turning toxic is when boundaries are set and they're adhered to.
Yeah.
No matter how much it hurts one party over the other.
Right.
They didn't want to lose you.
Right.
They didn't want to accept you leaving.
Even after all that. They
right.
still wanted me. I was like...
But they were like, if he's going to act this way, I'm sure at least for a few of them, they're like, he needs to see us leave.
Yeah.
We can do this without you. Do we want to? No.
Right.
But if you're going to act a certain way, not to put words in their mouths, but I just imagine that's a huge dynamic in any relationship, right? The party that's affected, the aggressor needs to see them walk away.
Right.
It's like, yeah, dude, you're treating me like shit. I'm dipping.
Yeah.
See ya.
For sure. Especially that. And like, I would say out of like all the guys in like the band, I'm definitely the most like emotional one out of everyone. Like Nick throws his little fits every so often and stuff like that. But like, I'm the one who will like get deep. Like there's been times where I've sat the guys down and been like, I have this like problem. Like I need to talk about this with you guys. And all of them are they're uncomfortable Okay, dude, yeah, whatever you say, type of thing. So it's times like I kind of overthink those periods of time a lot, but really I'm just like, yeah, it was just like they've helped me and pushed me for the better and stuff now. And now it makes me so happy. Like when I go into practice, like, yeah, there's still times where like, all of us we do a show up too fucked up or something like that. But now it's like when we show up and we're there like as, business partners and more importantly, like friends.
Yeah.
And we're all just like respecting each other's space, opinions, because we had to go through that kind of crap. We had to go through all that like bullshit of growing up, and it's like, it's literally just kind of like a family with those guys. Yeah, they've seen me at my worst. I've seen them at some bad times and stuff, but made us stronger and helps us learn each other better.
Do you ever feel like you talk about how like you feel like you're the most emotional one of them and stuff like that? Do you ever feel like a part of you is still trying to make up for, the nonsense?
Sometimes I feel like I've definitely made like my reparations and everything, just like because this was probably in 2022, early 2022, that all of that happened. And I feel like the way everything's gone since then, like the whole dynamic has really changed since even that time. Like, and that was, I think, right before Nick came into the band. And I think as soon as Nick came into the band is when Nick his presence was like, everyone shit better be tight or I'm going to be pissed. And especially being rhythm with him, that's like, so it's a whole new philosophy. It isn't just like, so much of the emotional aspect of the whole like band thing got taken out as soon as Nick came in. He was more so just like, this is business. Like, I'm here on my time and you guys better make my time worth it or I'm out.
Well, it sounds like it's a little more organized.
Yeah, for sure. Just like that mentality is like exactly what we needed.
Right.
We totally needed that mentality and everything. Just all of us. And all of us grew up too. Like, you got to think like 22, like I was probably 20, maybe 3 years old at this time. And it's like 23 to 26, and as a guy, you grow up a lot and stuff. Like, I'm sure you're a completely different person than you were at 23.
I pray to God. I pray to God. I feel like I am, but yeah, oftentimes your best critics and your best, how do you say it? Like the best people to point a reference for that are the ones that are close. If you're lucky enough to have those people like that are close to you, you got a good group of friends, man.
Yeah, they're really good guys.
You have an amazing group of friends.
Yeah, and that's what me and Toby always say too. Like, there's some days where we go in and everyone just hates each other so much. But it's because of band stuff. I know that outside of the band, I'm sure if it wasn't for the band, I wouldn't feel like this about these guys. But, like, because of the band, I know that, like, if one day the band's all said and done, those are still going to be my boys. Like, no matter what. It just sucks that we have to, like, come at each other's throats every so often over just, like, deciding the direction of something or, like, someone's just having a bad day. And
well, I would say also on the flip side of that, again, just outside looking in, I would also say that you need to have an environment that allows for that, allows for true expression, right? Like, it can't be this farce of every time you guys show up to practice, whether you're practicing, you're writing, you're performing, traveling, whatever it is. It can't be this farce of, oh, we're all happy to be here all the time, every day. We all love each other no matter what. And it's like all smiles and sunshine and bullshit. Because then you end up in a situation like Rob Zombie, where towards the end of his tenure of White Zombie being in existence, when they were touring, they were actually getting really big and they were going across country. They had 2 tour buses. It was Rob Zombie's and the rest of the bands.
Oh, shit.
And they toured separately because they fucking hated each other.
Yeah.
And it was that situation you're bringing up, like where you would quit/kicked out, where it was Rob Zombie against 3 other people that used to be his friends.
Yeah.
And they maintained, I think he was saying in an interview, I think it was on Rogan actually, they were maintaining that for like a year or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah. And he was like, and he goes, yeah, looking back on that, I was the issue. Like, yeah, sure, they treated me poorly at times, but they were treating me poorly because I was treating them even worse.
Right.
Right. And then obviously, for you to sit here, recount all this and say, yeah, this is what happened. Obviously no sugarcoating. Like, this is what happened. This is how things went down. I mean, that shows the growth and maturity that's happened, not only on your end, but on their end, because you're comfortable saying these things. Yeah. Because again, this doesn't come off as like, oh, I'm going to tell things that I did that's embarrassing to the band. No, these are stories that show growth and show where we are now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's all just part of our story and everything. And like I said, like that's why like I started this off saying like I have a very unique perspective and all this because like there's so much that's happened in my own personal life with like, you know, relationships and like just addictions, with just all these different things that have happened to me with those guys around. And I've like totally, and they've been like on my worst days, I still had practice at 7:00 and I had to be there. So I went with all of that like darkness and built up crap inside of me. I showed up there and I made it everyone else's problem. Oh, man. You know, but I look back and I'm a completely different person now and stuff like, sure, everyone still has their bad days, but at least like I'm going in there and I'm being productive now and everything. And I see the passion of the goal that they like, we all have one common goal because we all see where each other are coming from and we see how passionate we all are with it. And we all come together for that one specific thing. And I want to show up every single day just to give them my all to make those things happen. And I couldn't have done that a few years ago when all that shit was going on. Like, there's just no way.
Well, that's a good philosophy for life, right? Let's say in general. So kind of tie this back into a point I made earlier. You have 3 major things going on in your life, right? You have your job, your band, and your relationship.
Right.
That's a good way to move forward in life, is that you need to maintain a routine and you need to maintain a steady state of habits so that if one of those 3 things goes away suddenly, you can feel your emotions. You can, ride that roller coaster of a mediocre day, really shitty day, even shitty. Okay, I'm a little better now, even shittier now. And you can deal with whatever loss happens, because that's just the constant in life, right? There is going to be another thing negative that happens to you of varying degrees. Maintaining proper habits and maintaining not like a sense of self, but just maintaining having the ability to maintain yourself, right? So that when you lose something important, if you lose something important, you're at the end of it, you're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. You don't become self-destructive. You don't end up pushing more things out of your life. Because Lord forbid, you lose something major, and then the way you react to the one major loss, now there's a second one, now there's a third, now there's a fourth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like you are in a completely different headspace.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of all those things, like I've been able just to look back and see that what issues those things caused, and just learn from it. And that's like what my life is all about now, is like things happen, and instead of just like kicking yourself and just making things worse and like self-medicating, whatever, it's like just learn from them and grow. Like everything is a lesson. Absolutely everything's a lesson. That's how you just like build yourself and make yourself stronger. And to just like, and as a guy too, like you want to be the best man that you can be. Like we have a completely different role than girls do. Like we have a totally different role, and we need to embrace that. And it's just like just learning from your mistakes and constantly building yourself and just getting better and better and better every single day. And that just relates to everything. Well,
and talking specifically on a masculine role, you brought up a little bit earlier about how service is a big thing that keeps you on track. It's helped you stay away from addiction.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, 'cause again, like we were texting earlier, like you can make the conscious decision to say, hey, I'm not drinking for this period of time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people just go cold turkey from everything because they don't have the ability to stay away. They can't just have one. They can't just have a couple of drinks. It's I'm gonna have 9 then black out, right? Mm-hmm. For you, being a firefighter, how much does service play into maintaining your constant state of, again, healthy habits, routine, a healthy mindset? Like, what part does being a firefighter play into that?
Yeah, it's like for my job, I see shit that the normal person like shouldn't have to see and everything. And it's like the guys who go on crazy declines are the ones that are like drinking like crazy and drinking all that stuff away. Then it's like, I think just constantly suppressing those things with that. It's all those things, because I want to take care of myself mentally, because PTSD is so real. Like in this job, police officers, just military, it's so real. And I just noticed that the people who have it the worst are the ones who are just drinking like fish all the time. Yeah. And it's like, that's so important to stay away from all that stuff, or at least keep it in check and everything.
Yeah, have a hold on it.
Process everything right and stuff. And it's just those things. And also too, just sort of like, I want to show up every day being able to like take care of patients the best way that I can and like be there for them, have like that clarity. And also too, like your license is on the line at all times. Like I've heard some crazy mess ups that people have done, and it's just like if you're not all the way there,
Is that like medical malpractice or
just stuff like I think I could probably talk about this, but it's like I know there was
no like identifying details, obviously.
Yeah, it was at a hospital, and a group of students from a certain school. One of the students gave Tylenol that you're supposed to give orally into a forehead vein.
Oh no!
Like just stuff like that, and it's like you don't want any sort of excuses of just like, oh, I was too fucked up or something like that, or just like you always just like want to be sharp.
So they were giving a medication that you're supposed to inject
the pink stuff
into the fucking gum or what?
No, into the forehead.
No. Where were they supposed to put it?
Oh, you're supposed to just put it in the little shot glass and just drink it like that. That's the only way it can go into your system.
Oh, I'm thinking like a local anesthetic or some shit.
No, dude, like pink Tylenol.
Oh, and they put it in a syringe
and pushed it through a little like pigtail thing into their forehead vein, into the super crazy.
I don't. Okay. Holy fuck.
Just wild stuff like that where it's just like, you just need to be like on it.
Or just, oh my God, the vetting system needs to get better at that point. Holy fuck. That's horrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So how long have you been a firefighter for? Like, like you're out of the academy, like doing the job?
2 years now.
2 years.
That I've been in the field, yeah.
Has there been a moment for you where it kind of clicked, where it's like, oh shit, this is real. Like, this is a real job. Do you remember like that, what that first moment was for you that really like woke you up to what this job can really be?
Yeah, it was at my pinning ceremony where they had us all just sitting there and they were calling us up. It felt like I was getting my name called on freaking death row or something like that. Like they were all Zachary Chavez, station blah blah blah, man number blah blah blah. I was like, damn, this is it, because like I knew what kind of calls that station was getting and stuff, and I was like, it's just a matter of time before I get there and I see something super fucked up, and I'm just like, whoa.
What was it for you? Like, call, if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine. But like, what about like call wise? Was there anything like that that really kind of like, as a rookie at the time, really? Because actually, before I ask that question, how far, I guess, in your perspective and everything that you've learned from people that are above you, right? Like your seniors or just mentors that you've had, how long is somebody in the fire department until they're like no longer considered a rookie? Like you're seasoned a little bit, you kind of know what's going on. Yeah, you're not like a tenured, whatever, like been in there for over a decade, 15 years, but like you have a good footing under you. How long does that typically take?
I'd say, me personally, from what I've seen, I'd say it's around maybe like 7-8 years or something like that. Maybe sometimes like 4 or 5, depending on the guy. But they also, so there's guys who come in who have been working for other departments for a long time, or there's guys who come in that are like hardcore, like military dudes, like there's guys who earn their respect a lot faster. But then when you're some freaking babyface dude like me who just like rolls in and everything, that, until you're like, I don't have kids, I'm not married, like I haven't bought my own house yet, like they look at me and like I'm just a kid,
Yeah.
It's usually the guys who, it's based on that type of stuff.
So you still view yourself as like, I'm trying to find my footing, I'm still the rookie.
I'm fresh. Well, and that helps too, because then you're going ready to learn everything.
I was gonna say that's a good mindset to have. You're absorbing, you're a sponge.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So back to what we were really talking about, were there any calls in the beginning, like in that first year, where you're like, oh fuck, this is like a firefighter's job?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. There was a guy who got creamed by the rail runner.
Ugh.
Yeah, some homeless guy. I don't know if he was just like he was laying down on the tracks or whatever.
So why the fuck does the fire department get called out for that?
In case if they had needed like resuscitating and stuff. Like usually it's supposed to be, it's just like, so we'll go to things where we need to confirm that someone is actually dead based on like...
Is a fire engine going out for that, or is a fucking paramedic?
It's both.
Oh shit.
Because that's considered like a delta, like like the highest level of like car accident there is. So they send both. Sometimes they'll even send 2 engines for that, because you need the extrication equipment. But then there's the paramedics who are going to put the leads on them and make sure there's no pulse. But like our protocols and everything, if you see like brain matter, you don't even touch them. So we basically went there to make sure that they fit our protocols. If they're dead, we're not working this person. And because that kind of stuff, there's so many, like, for one thing that happens, like a death, there's probably 8 different, like, reports that someone handwritten that was there recounting that situation.
Did the amount of paperwork surprise you? Yeah.
Yeah, you spend more time doing this than you do on scene most of the time. It's crazy. Not me, because I want to go to medic school next year, but right now, those guys are just typing away after everything. I have the chill job right now.
So what do you do right now?
I go there and I'm on an engine right now. So what my job is to do is just kind of like grunt work.
Yeah.
And everything, like on fires, like, my biggest thing is like on fires, like I'll be the one first in with the hose, all that stuff. And that's the difference between like I'd probably say right?
It's whatever discretionary you want to use, dude.
Okay,
yeah.
So for we only have 3 on an engine. So there's an engineer, there's an officer, and there's 1 firefighter. But at city, they have 2 firefighters as well as both. So on a structure fire, I'm going in by myself and stuff. It's crazy. So it's like that's the firefighter's job. We're like the rescue. It's all.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then like car accidents. That's a big thing for us. Assaults, overdoses. We all go to. 9 Echoes, which is like the full-on code, like workable arrest, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Rollovers, pedestrians getting hit. I've seen all kinds of funny stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
I remember, I don't know why this story sticks in my head so much, but Joey was telling me a story we were doing an episode a long time ago about how like a dad and his kid were playing tag in the house, and I guess the dad took a corner in the house too quick, slipped on a hardwood floor, knocked on a mirror falls.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. It just cut up.
Cut the fuck up, blood everywhere.
Yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, there's been some super. There was a crazy one too over on 98 that was getting off right there, and there was a semi of strawberries. I don't know if did you ever pass by that right there on the freeway? I don't know what the guy was doing, but he was driving the semi of strawberries and somehow rolled his semi off the road. Him and the passenger got ejected, and like we went over to go like see if he was still alive, needed to resuscitate him. This dude's like legs were behind his like head.
Fuck.
And everything, like just super super weird stuff. There was a guy too, I saw someone get burned alive, like mafia style. They drilled his mouth shut and set him on fire.
Jesus Christ, that sounds like a cartel thing.
Yeah, and there was like 4 deaths in that area, like that, in those couple of days of like execution style deaths. It was crazy.
Obviously, I can't say his name, but when this guy gets out of counter drug, I'm gonna provided this podcast goes for 20 years, I'm gonna get him. I want to talk to him about the shit that he's doing. But he told me some stories about how they're like even just scoping out the different cartel like outfits, I guess, what the fuck they call them here in the city, like in the city. And how they spend their nights like scoping them out, trying to figure out where they're going with their movements and shit like that. It blows my fuck, because you don't think about that throughout the day, right? Unless you're either friends with these people that are in, this how would you like that are just service members, right? Public servants. There we go. They're public servants, or unless you're a public servant yourself and you go and you're being witness all this, like, oh, like this was. I saw this in a fucking video game before. Like, I know exactly what this is. You know what I mean? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's all super crazy. And yeah, it's just like, it's changed a lot, even just in the 2 years. Like, it's just what's sustainable. Like, I remember I used to want to remember every single call and talk about every single call. And now it's just kind of like, it is what it is, but it's safer that way, I think, because you're not so like in the moment of like, oh, this is going to make a crazy story for later and stuff. You're just more like, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And then I forget about it and stuff like that. Like,
again, that's probably for the best, right? And that's why I imagine that's why they drill training into you so much. So it's like, even if your brain does try to freak out, you go into muscle memory. Yeah. You do your job properly. You, whatever your SOPs are, or whatever the fuck you're doing, you do the job and you get out. And yeah, I feel like festering or just, not reminiscing, but just hyper fixating on something that you saw. Yeah. Because you think it's going to be a cool story, or because you think that, like, oh, that's going to be fun to, it's like, again, it's a cool story to tell at a bar, or tell at a party. It's like, oh, well, that stays in your head long enough, you keep remembering that long enough, that becomes a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever seen like any like crazy car accidents or traumas or anything like that?
No. Like, I mean, no, not at all. I'm just not in that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not a purview. It's not my purview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only crazy thing that I've ever seen is just there was a period of time at the end of 2019. Yeah, I was driving a lot between here and Roswell, and there was an accident on the side of the road that I hadn't gotten that like been like sectioned off yet, I guess. And the car, something happened to where like the car exploded, and there was like a burnt body on the side of the fucking road. It smelled like absolute hell.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, like, again, that's not my life. I work at a desk, dude. I work on a desk and I talk shit for a living. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the best too.
Yeah. The first part's not. It's funny. Side note, I found out today at my job that the vice president of my region, because my company, I didn't realize this, but the company I work for, I agreed to my boss, one of my bosses, I wouldn't say the name of the company, but I guess my company's like the fucking third largest employer in the in North America.
Oh.
Had no idea. Very big company, I guess. $18 billion. But anyway, the VP of my region actively listens to the podcast. And so when I got told that today, I was like, all right, well, I'll get fired in a month. You guys have, if I ever get randomly let go, you know why now.
Right. Yeah. There has to be some sort of like, I don't know, things about that. Like,
fuck no.
Oh, really?
Fuck no. Why do you think people are so scared of, speaking their mind on social media? Like,
yeah,
for instance, right? Like, when I was doing my interview, obviously they did like a search on me, like a social media search and shit like that. And they found this and it came up, and I was literally because I did a Zoom interview because my direct boss, it's so strange how my company's set up. It's like all of everything in the company, and then there's recruiting on the side.
Yeah.
And it has its own like hierarchy and shit like that, right? So my direct supervisor doesn't even live here. She lives in Denver, and then her direct supervisor is in corporate, and she lives in LA. So we were doing a Zoom interview, and I was doing it like right where you're sitting. I was doing it in the fucking podcast studio, and then it came up, and then she was like, well, if we do decide to move forward with you, I love what you do. Just do your thing. I'm sure it's fun, but just you won't be bringing up the company's name. And I was like, that's a good deal to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I went and did I was a guest on a podcast last Friday, and this came up in conversation, and I was telling the host, I was like, look, like, you think, 'cause we got on the topic briefly about abortion, very, very briefly. Mm-hmm. And I was saying, like, yeah, I'm a Christian and I have my feelings about it, but I believe in a strict separation of church and state.
Right.
And so even though I'm a Christian, I still believe people should have access to the practice. Obviously, there should be some left and right limits on it. Like, I don't think a late-term abortion at 9 months is exactly acceptable.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking evil.
Right.
But, at the same time, I don't think that right to have and perform an abortion should be taken away from anybody. Mm-hmm. It's like, and that statement right there, being a Christian that supports abortion at any level, depending on who your boss is, regardless of what field you work in,
yeah,
that's a fireable offense right there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just the world we live in.
I know. It's crazy. And then like there's this one guy I work with, he posts on TikTok all the time, like these crazy like conspiracy things and stuff like that. But he'll do it like in his uniform in the Bay.
Oh boy.
And no one's ever told him anything. So I'm just like, I think there's certain things, like there's that did you see that thing on the news recently about that, like, Diego Pavia guy? He's the quarterback for NMSU. He it's been on the local news, but he like broke into like UNM's facility, like football facility, and pissed on the UNM logo and was flipping off the logo like on a wall, and someone's like recording him doing it, and it got out. So I think a big thing too of it comes with like if you're like a high profile person like the NMSU quarterback.
But that's a crime. Like that. He broke into private property.
Exactly.
That's B&E.
So then if I'm coming on the podcast and I'm being like, oh yeah, like I murdered someone. Yes. Like there's like, but like, it's all very, like no one's like.
Well, I think Okay, so the strict difference there is that dude's on camera committing the crime.
Right.
And who knows if anything what we just talked about is true. I mean, look at the fucking logo. This is not exactly meant to be a very serious platform.
A fictional podcast.
Yeah, it's all hearsay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why podcasting has taken off so well, is because there is just so much level of gray area that people can exercise their voice in.
Yeah.
Where in the same conversation, I mean, that's why Rogan took off so quickly, aside from the fact that he was already famous, had famous friends, but like he was allowing, all these really serious or otherwise heavy or like intellectually dense conversations to happen. Like, like one of his first 20 guests, I think it was like Graham Hancock or some shit. I don't know if you know who that is. So fucking stupid. See, exactly. We just got done talking about what we were talking about and then make a dick joke. Like,
Hey, you said Hancock, though.
You're so fucking stupid.
All right. I'm sorry.
So fucking
I'm sorry.
No, that's my point. That plays my point, right? Is this is a format where you have those heavier conversations, but then it's mixed in with fucking dick jokes, and then it's like, well, okay, how not how serious, but like, is this really what you want to be coming after?
Well, this is the thing too. Is like
mean?
This is a conversation that, like, I would be having this exact same conversation with you if we just went to go to the brewery and go get a beer too and stuff like that.
Right.
That's like what it's all about and everything.
Right.
That's
well, you know what? I don't know how much. I think we might have the same we might have the same conversation on the same subjects, but it would not be as nearly dialed in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I love doing this. Is like, we've been sitting here for, okay, it's almost fucking, it's 8:30 right now. Let's say we started at 6:40, 6:45, around there, right? Like, actually sat down, started. Okay. So we've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. Neither one of us looked at our phones.
Yeah.
There's not music playing, not other people trying to talk to us. We haven't ran into that random stranger from 5 years ago that we don't want to fucking talk to, but they had to come over here because they had 3 IPAs too much.
Yeah. All spitting all over your face and shit. Sorry, not to get sidetracked, but that's one thing I have noticed too, like going out, like if I ever go out sober.
You get spit on or what?
How much people fucking spit when they're drunk. Have you noticed that? It's like,
yeah.
It's like, dang, I just wanted the news, not the weather.
I haven't heard that in so long.
It's crazy. I remember I was sitting there. It was actually Leroy's like cousin or brother, and he was like telling me how much he's like, I showed Leroy how to be on stage. I told him how to come in. He's telling me all this, and I just see particles of saliva just going into my drink. I'm like, I had like a, I don't know, like a cranberry Sprite or something like that. And he was just soaking it. I was like,
thanks, man. Appreciate that.
It just reminded me of when people go into a few IPAs too many, and I'll catch myself too. I came so conscious of it.
Yeah.
If I'm a little too drunk, I'll feel myself spitting, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
I think, because obviously, like we said a little bit earlier, you're in a period right now of sobriety, right? You're just taking a break from booze.
Yeah, mainly for the prep or the bulk stuff.
Right. Yeah. So you're taking a break from booze. I think it's important to, when you're doing that, still, as much as you can, or as much as you can tolerate it, whether it's like you feel the need to drink or it's just like your own patience levels.
Yeah.
Even though because obviously you're going to be playing shows and shit, go be somewhere where other people are drinking, but you're sober.
It's crazy.
And see how people act.
Yeah. Well, because I was sober for that year. Nothing is crazier than being at Canvas sober at 2:00 in the morning.
That sounds horrible.
It's terrible.
Why would you do that to yourself? That sounds terrible.
I still wanted to be going out and stuff like that. Yeah. My friends were going out, and I was always happy to DD. And stuff. I saw some. You see those like drunk dudes going through the crowd just with that 1,000-mile stare where they just look evil. You just know that they're up to no good.
They're predatory as fuck.
It's scary. I'm just like, you can just notice shit like that. You can read people's body language so much better, and like you can even just like talk to people so much better. Like I notice if I'm talking to someone drunk, I'm saying a whole lot of nothing all the time. I'm just saying a whole bunch of just freaking nonsense. It's crazy.
Well, then I would imagine too that when you you stop the period of sobriety and you go back to casually drinking, you can now bring in like, oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't get to whatever in public because I don't ever want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
Like there's been a few times like recently where that's happened where I'm like, okay, I drank a bit much last night. I am going to just not touch my phone. Yeah. And if nobody tells me shit in the next few hours, that means I'm okay.
Yeah.
That means I didn't say anything stupid. That means I didn't anger anybody. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, it was New Year's, and it was actually Kelly's brother. He wasn't very happy about me dating Kelly at first because like I met her at his wedding that he asked me to DJ and I worked with him and everything. It was a weird situation. So he was not happy about it. But I do have to say he was trying to set us up at first. But then when it actually happened, he wasn't a fan of it.
So, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, he was like, wait, that wasn't supposed to actually happen. So anyway, it was New Year's. This dude got trashed and he let it go on me. He was like, it even got down to, he's all, and I think your shirt's fucking stupid. The shirt I was wearing right there. I was like, oh my God. And he's a great guy. He's so nice. He's a good dude. Yeah. And I remember the next day he texted me. He's like, dude, I am so sorry about.
Right.
And dude, he didn't drink for like 4 months, because like sometimes there was this guy who came behind me that I work with. He was all trying to take off my shirt while Jake's yelling at me. This dude's behind me, y'all trying to take my shirt off. I'm like,
right.
Alcohol brings out some interesting things.
That's funny. Yeah. And I think your shirt's fucking stupid.
Oh man, that guy was like,
and the sound of your voice is gay.
Oh yeah, just the deep cuts right there.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So all right, so now kind of to shift a little bit with you being in the band, you guys have played over 20 shows this year.
Over 20.
You guys you've played it live multiple times. You guys have a fucking banger of a song that has not been released yet.
Yeah.
There's not even a name for it yet.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
We don't know. We don't even have the final mix yet.
I swear to God.
Everything is so calculated these days. Like we'll go in there. Kenny has to hate us at this point because we just go in there and we're just like, we want to fix this. We want to fix this. We want to fix that. And so we don't know yet.
It plays good live.
Yeah, it does.
It is
we're due though because we try to do one a month, but some months we go off a little bit. But yeah, we're definitely due. But we're always writing. Like even right now, we have studio again on October 14th. So
nice.
14th. So we're gonna be in there with 2 new ones also.
Nice.
Just always doing it. Just got to keep going.
What is writing like for you as you're obviously like every day you're learning more about your own like instrument. You're learning more about like rhythm, like you said, like just the elements of actually being in a professional organized band. How does writing play into that?
I try to do it alone. Like it's crazy because we all like I like to jam. I like to go in there and just like be like, and then just see what everyone can kind of catch on to, but that's not everyone's like cup of tea necessarily.
Right.
So pretty much what it is we just like we're starting to do this thing where we'll like pick a song. We're like, okay, what do we like about this song? Let's kind of try to like channel because we all need to get on the same page because we all come from such different styles.
Right.
Nick's a metalhead. Toby's like pretty sure would suck the skin off of Kurt Cobain's dick if he could. Nev is like all like about like indie stuff. Leroy loves his rap, and Johnny's like super psychedelic, indie type stuff.
Yeah,
I think more like psychedelic. I think so. We all have to get on the same page because he's doing this super melodic, spacey riff. I'm doing something super funky because I love funk. That's like also why I picked the bass. Funk, love that shit. Nick wants to do metal drums. Toby's like doing this crazy like bar chord riff. That's where we clash the most.
Yeah.
So
it's making for great music though.
Yeah.
It is. Like I forget what came out first. Was it Save Me or Nothing at All?
It was Save Me.
Okay.
Yeah, Save Me was first.
That is when things I think changed for you guys.
Yeah.
Musically, like the tone of your music, the style of your music. You guys you started out as like funky party type not that all your music are downers because they're not, but like the more like upbeat, like summer type music.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Good way to put it.
Like the summer type music.
Yeah.
Now you guys, I think, and again, I've told a few of you guys this, I think it's because one common ground you all have is that you all really like the alternative pop punk, like late 90s into the mid 2000s, like the stuff that we all grew up on.
Yeah.
And that's not a coincidence.
Right.
You know, so the way that you guys can find common ground in that, and because how much of a hodgepodge that genre of music is, some of it has funk, some of it has rap, some of it has metal likenesses to it, some of it has psychedelic in it. It lends itself to that because it has a sound, but it doesn't have a structure.
Yeah.
So it lends itself to being multifaceted, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think once those two songs came out is when it really, you guys really started like honing in like what works for you guys, where can you exist properly.
Yeah.
So you, when you're writing, it sounds like you enjoy being more abstract and then zoning it in. How do you find that you have to incorporate yourself with Nick first and then you extrapolate out? Like, is there any other member of the band you have to align yourself with as like, obviously your whole goal and your whole objective is being rhythm.
Right.
So do you find yourself having to align yourself with one member over another first, or?
Yeah, I think what we do is we all try, like someone has one idea and then we all try to see if we can write our own part for it, but then we have to start compromising with each other because there's some guys who like don't have a lot of feel, you know, and something's supposed to be a little bit groovier. You can't teach feel. Like that's one thing that you just absolutely cannot do. So it's like, okay, so we need to make it more like blocky into like a 4/4 thing because it's just a little too much groove. Like we're not going to be able to play this. It depends on we're trying to play to everyone's strengths all the time. So
which is smart. It's hard to do at times, I'd imagine, but that's
sure.
the smartest route to take.
Yeah, and everyone wants their part. Like we're all trying to make sure each other are satisfied. Like that's a perfect project for us is when everyone is absolutely satisfied with what we're making. We're all reaching that common goal. So that's why we're starting this new thing of like, let's all kind of like have a reference of like a song that we kind of like, and let's all meet. So it's different. Like sometimes it's like, yeah, me and Toby get on the same page first, and then Leroy has to tell Nick what like drums to play or something, or Nick really wants this drum part. So Johnny's the one that I think is the most easygoing with it because he'll pretty much like pick up on whatever. Like we start doing something, he'll find his place in it. We usually don't have to worry about him, but Toby always has such big lead parts, and I want to make sure that I have like good rhythm. And that's the thing about being humble on bass is it's like, Zach, you're doing too much, or like, Zach, you need to do this different, you need to do that. And that's how we all are with each other's instruments, but like specifically with the bass, it's like that's why I have to be so humble too in what I do and just not take those things personally and just genuinely serve the song, because I feel like my instrument is one that could break the song. Like not necessarily make it, like I can make everyone else sound like better maybe, but yeah. And I like having all of their ear to be able to tell me that stuff, but I need to be able to like step back and be like, yeah.
Well, the bass playing a background role isn't a negative or it's not a disservice to that instrument. It's just where that plays best. But then on the flip side of that, you guys have something like Nothing at All where the bass takes front and center at parts of it and it sounds good, and that does serve the song well in that manner.
Yeah, I like when they give me little parts like that to shine, because I like to prove I'm like, well, see, I could do this shit. Like, just give me a chance to do it. But then when we get more to the pop punk stuff, I get crushed. Like, you can't hear. Even a lot of Green Day songs, like, yeah, there's like Longview where he has like that crazy like.
Or Holiday.
Line. Yeah, like you could hear the bass good, but most punk pop, even most like metal, all those things, you're not being like, oh dang, that's like in every song.
Unless there's a like they make it a point to like put the bass in the front. You're right.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't mean that it's not playing an important role.
Right. But
it's keeping the rest of the band on track.
Yeah, and everyone has to agree that that's bass's role. Like bass and drums have the verse. Everyone has to agree on that, because when you go into the studio, it's like Kenny, he'll be like, okay, well maybe we should put this guitar here. It's like, no, we just want bass and drum. Or like, and it's because as soon as you put one guitar on there, you're out. You're crushed. Like, yeah, you could kind of fill stuff in the floor and you're beefing up the song a little bit, but like you're out, you know?
Right.
So it's like making space. And that's the thing, what we're trying to learn right now is how to like structure songs and like, not compose, like arrange. because now we're trying to figure out like how do we layer things, what dynamic are we gonna do, and that's what I want us to get to the point of is like one show we play like I don't know like our new song, but then that song has so much like dimension and like musical locality to it that the next night it has a completely different feel. Like each time we play the song, it brings out something different in the audience because it's reflecting how like we're feeling, you know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I know that's
no,
that
like
makes
sense.
There,
no, that makes sense because there is a lot. That is your most musically diverse song, for sure, and that's a compliment.
Yeah,
like there is a lot going on in that song, but it comes together really well.
Thanks. We're learning as musicians for sure.
Yeah,
we're definitely learning.
So, okay. Yeah, that song, like, so I took like a few videos from Bands of Enchantment, right?
Yeah.
And I've been like re-listening to those videos a couple. Like, this is the only recording of this fucking stupid ass song that I really enjoy that I have. And until they decide to release it, this is what I got. These little 10-second snippets.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like even like recently where Leroy wants to add a scream to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like a lot of that is you guys allowing yourself to learn and evolve these things. And it's interesting because I was telling Nevin this too. You know, you guys, even when you play your older stuff, you play your older stuff better now because your ability has just evolved more and more and more.
Yeah, for sure. I think we believe in what we're playing because I think a lot of our songs, like a band of musicians that really don't know how to, we're not professional musicians at all. So we're just putting stuff out to put it out. I think it takes us like a few months to a year from a release of a song to really believe in a song and really feel it. And I think you play it a lot different when you can put that power behind it. And back to the Leroy screaming stuff, that dude has been showing the fuck up. He's been singing and he's been killing it. And he's been like doing his screams and he's just serving the song so much. And it's like, that dude doesn't know anything about rhythm, about pitch, about anything. Like we know more about him. And it's kind of like that thing of like, what is there? There's 6 of us. It's like like 1 idiot and 6 geniuses or something like that, or 5 geniuses. Like you almost need that. Like you almost need someone with that unorthodox type of approach to really just like capture a different feel to it and stuff. He's been doing great. He does his team medicine ball. He shows up ready to work every time and he's getting good.
You guys all are.
Good.
Like
Thanks.
you guys all were. I remember, I think at Marble Fest, because I know a lot of you guys weren't as happy as you could have been with that performance. I think you guys did well.
I did too. I love all of our performances, except Sheba Hut.
But I remember telling you after that show at Marble, excuse me. I remember telling you after that show at Marble, I think that's when I noticed for you specifically, you started getting a lot, at least the year or so that I've seen you guys live. That's when you started getting extremely loose on stage, like from the jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think all of you guys kind of, up until recently, kind of had a little bit of that. It was like, okay, stiff, like a song and a half, and then it's like out.
Yeah.
But like with you specifically, like the looseness came from the jump.
Yeah.
And I mean, for all of you guys, it was like that with Bands of Enchantment. How did that feel for you guys?
The Bands of Enchantment?
Yeah.
Oh, that felt awesome. We just felt taken care of, and that's like one of the biggest things that I noticed a difference in with Bands of Enchantment is they like actually invested in us. They like gave us top of the line everything so that way we could be our best. And I feel like that's one of the huge things that lacks in Albuquerque and like the music scene is like the person who's mixing us can't really even do a whole lot because he just doesn't have the equipment. The speakers aren't there. They're speakers from like the 80s. Like,
yeah.
So we can't necessarily just be our best places and showcase our best. Like every time we've played the Art Walk, we haven't been able to, we have sound issues. We have all these things to where the people come and see us and it like kind of ruins our reputation almost a little bit and stuff. And it's just like a tough thing to work with. But Bands of Enchantment, like, they and the News did amazing too. Like that. Yeah. That song sounds exactly like the recording, and it's awesome.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job on the News.
Thanks.
That's a fact. That was really, and I just saw that on like my what's it called? My work computer.
Oh.
I was at work and I just streamed it. It's like, oh shit, yeah, this sounds really fucking good.
Yeah, we're just so loud, dude. You went to the Sister Bar show.
Yeah.
Last Sister Bar.
Yeah.
Dude, my ears were like actually messed up for like the next 3 days after, like just constant ringing.
Yeah.
I bought earplugs finally.
Yeah, I noticed that Toby started using them too.
And then he turned up louder. And that's why Nick, oh my God, this dude. So do you notice that when people are talking, he'll just start playing the drums? Oh my God. And I figured out why. It's because he has earplugs, but like his knockdown decibels even more than the ones that I have. So he doesn't even hear you talking. He just is staring at his drums and then he just starts going, and then you get mad at him and he does it even more because he knows that it makes you mad. I'm just like, there is no winning with that guy.
That's hilarious.
Love him to death, but my God, I sometimes wish that I could just take all of his drumsticks away and he cannot have them back until it's time to play.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, what is your guys' next show? Like, what are the next shows coming from? Do you have like an idea of what they are for the rest, at least the next like 2 months or so?
Yeah, I know we have October 17th at the Balloon Museum. And then I don't think we have another one till like November something. I'm trying to get the actual thing. Just follow the slums to shout out for the people listening or to plug. Just follow the slums and we market everything really good. You'll know when there's a slum show. That's
a fact. And fucking Leroy, dude, I love him to death. But every time I find a flyer for you guys, I call him and I'm like, okay, are you guys actually playing at 7:30, or is that like 7:30 Leroy time, which really means 8:15?
Yeah.
Because I get it. He sets out the time like 30, 45 minutes because New Mexicans don't know how to be on time. I feel that, but I like time my day out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, if I'm told you guys are gonna get on at 7:30, I'm gonna get there like 7.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught on to that. And also, like, I get how the people are like, they don't want to. Sometimes people are like, I'll stay for half your show, so I'll get there when I get there, and then I'll leave when I leave. But then they get there and they're early, and they're like, oh man, well now I need to stay I already came here, I need to stay for an hour.
Right.
But I get what he's doing.
I do too, because the grand majority of people show up fucking late.
And he wants them to get a little trash because that's his slogan. We sound better when you're drunk.
Well, listen, man, I was really looking forward to this, and I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, same.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned a fucking lot about you, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and I appreciate the transparency. That's the story that needs to get told, dude.
Yeah, I'm always open with it. I feel like a lot of people who know me know that side because I'm very open about it and stuff. So
I'm glad you came out of it a better man.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
There's a lot of people that'll go through that and it's questionable whether they'd be alive or not. Mm-hmm. So I'm very glad to see you came out the way you are, and so I'm happy for you, dude.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I'm real happy for you. So, provided that someone made it this long in this episode and they don't know how to find you or find the band, where can they find your stuff? Where can they find all the music?
Yeah, just look at Google Slums of Harvard, and you'll get more than enough. We're all over Google, dude. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just Google us.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you again for coming by, man.
Yeah, for sure.
This was the shit.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, dude.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on. I was looking forward just to hanging out.